Welcome to the Farmers Union Insurance pregame show. I'm Lauren Hill, and I'm joined here by Edward Neiman and Ken Oda, and we are getting you ready for Game 3 of the two-weekend series against St. Cloud. So this past weekend, we played St. Cloud. We're playing them again this weekend, but this weekend is different because we are in Arena for 2 whole weekends. Edward, we saw them during our home opener weekend. Do you think the vibe is going to be the same, or just the turnout, everything?
Absolutely. I think, Toro fans have really shown up well this year so far, especially coming off that big win last time we were here against Bismarck in a shootout. I think the fans are ready as the Great River rivalry rolls on. So I'm excited to see this Norsemen team and 2 really competitive teams so far this season.
Awesome. Well, let's take a look back at last weekend, that weekend split against the Norsemen back on that Saturday night game.
Yeah, that Saturday night game, another competitive contest. We saw the Friday night game, just a lone goal was enough for the Tauros to get a win. Really back and forth action on Saturday night. Norsemen got out to an early lead. It was Sammy Crane getting the Norsemen on the board with a lead that would hold all the way into the third period. The Tauros did a nice job scoring 2 unanswered goals to gain a 2-1 advantage over St. Cloud. St. Cloud answered. The contest went to overtime, and the Norsemen got out of there with a win. Tauros, though, do a nice job fighting back, picking up 3 of 4 points on the weekend.
Yeah, 2 goals from defensemen. Ty James and Adam Mahler net the goals for the Tauros on Saturday night. Maybe something to look at for this weekend. Offense from the back end. I think if anything, we talked about it on the pregame show last Saturday. The Tauros, I didn't think did a good enough job of taking away Leedon's eyes. A little bit better job on Saturday. That's why you're getting those goals from distance. So something to maybe go to school on if you're the Tauros to get ready for tonight's game.
Yeah, well, talking about tonight's game, let's turn our attention back to that, and let's look at the updated Noodles numbers brought to us by Noodles & Company of Minot. So our current record as the Minotaurs, we are 8-4-1, currently standing at 5th in the division, as St. Cloud is 9-3-1-2, standing at 2nd in the division. As we said, we played them multiple times this year. This is our 5th meeting, and our goals per game ranges about 3.08 goals per game, as they range about 2.66. Goals against, we have 1.83 for us, as they have 2.43.
Yeah, I think the numbers favor the Tauros. The results in the series favor the Tauros. 2-1-1 Tauros pick up 5 points so far out of a possible 8. So, the series has leaned the Tauros' way, and I think a big part of why, on average, Tauros are outscoring their opponents by a goal and a half a game.
Yeah, both teams really good goaltending. As we mentioned, Lucas Fedin had a great outing on Friday night, pitching the shutout, 25 on 25 saves. We'll talk a little bit more about kind of the lack thereof shots on net from both teams in a defensive battle last weekend. But definitely, Tauros doing a nice job this season, both putting the puck in the net, but also keeping it out.
Special teams also playing a key role as we look at the bottom half of the Noodles numbers. Power play is about even for the 2 teams. But the Tauros penalty kill 7th in the league, 89.47%. St. Cloud only killing 83% of the power plays that they've faced. I think last weekend that didn't come into play much. There weren't many penalties either night. Different officiating crew this weekend. We'll see if that trend continues.
All right, well, heading into our Minotaurs Booster Club players to watch, I'll throw it to Ken to start with his choice of tonight's player.
I'm going with Ian Spencer. If there's a guy you're going to pick to have a big game at home, I think it's Spence. He loves playing in front of the home crowd. 4 games so far this season. Not just the goal and 3 assists here in the building, plus the shootout winner that doesn't count towards his goal total. 17 shots on goal in 4 games in this building this year. Ian Spencer, like I said, loves to play in front of the home crowd.
Yeah, Lauren, I'm also going to go towards the offense as well. I'm taking Jesse Uhala, both the goal and point leader for the Tauros. Hasn't scored in the last 4 games, which I know it sounds crazy, but the start that he got off to, it almost seems like there's been a lack of scoring, even though I believe he has 8 on the year so far. So you look at that Saturday game that the Tauros played against the Norsemen on home opening weekend. Tauros were looking to rebound. It was Jesse Uhala who netted a goal under a minute into that game and got the Tauros going, and they didn't look back, didn't give up that lead. So I think if Uhala can net one early, much like that Saturday game when we saw St. Cloud in the building, Tauros will be in a nice position tonight.
I agree. I really like your pick there, Edward. I'm going to go with Brandon Funk. In the last 4 games against St. Cloud, he has produced 6 shots on goal and 1 assist, but he has yet to score this year, and I think that's going to change within this series this weekend, just because, again, like we've mentioned, we played the Great River rivalry multiple times this year already, so he's gotten used to just their play style and everything, and I think that it's going to come this weekend.
Yeah, an experienced player playing junior in Canada the last few years. Now that he knows the opponent, certainly has the ability to pick his spots.
Do you like my pick there, Ken?
I do.
Okay. Well, that will bring us into our home key group keys to the game. Ken, what are your keys for tonight's game?
The first one, just pull the trigger. Toros, 2 games last weekend, a combined 39 shots on goal total over the weekend. Don't see that from this group often, usually over 30 shots a game. So pull the trigger, shoot the puck, which leads to my second key I touched on a little bit earlier, get some traffic. Lead and saw the puck way too easily last Friday night in St. Cloud, and really for the first 2 periods on Saturday night. So get more traffic in front of the net, take away his eyes, make it harder to see. We saw Ty James, Adam Mahler score goals when there was traffic in front and the defensemen were pulling the trigger. And my final home key group key to the game, get going. It's been 2 weekends here at the Mesa, 2 slow starts. The Thursday game against Bismarck, the Friday game against St. Cloud in the home opener, where the other team scored early and the Toros found themselves in a hole and weren't generating much. And the place is packed. That the crowd here is looking for an excuse to explode. They're looking for an excuse to get loud. Give them one and get going early.
Yeah, Ken, and I think, those were some of the things we also talked about last time the Toros were in this building. I mean, it sounds simple, but the more shots you take, the better likelihood you are to netting a goal. And I think that also goes with getting the crowd into it. If you're just taking shots on net, you're getting opportunities, getting the crowd into it. If the Toros get a couple close looks and really get this home crowd into it, I think it'll really do well for them this weekend. So.
All right, Minotaurs fans, it's time to take out your phones and pull up the Tauros mobile app for your chance to win prizes throughout tonight's game. With our 4 Bears Sportsbook over-unders, our first one we have is total Tauros defenseman goals. Are we going over or under 0.5, guys?
Well, I've talked about it a lot on today's pregame show. The 2 goals last Saturday from defensemen. I think that's going to be a key. I'm taking the over.
I'll take the over as well. Ken mentioned it, the Toros' 2 defenseman goals. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. If you see a vulnerability and you were able to attack it last weekend, why not do it again this weekend?
I agree. I'm going to go with the over again, just like y'all said. You took my points. We had some defenseman goals last week. I think it's just a given to go with that. Our next one is total Tauros goalie saves. Are we going over or under 29.5?
I'm going to take the under on this one. I know we talked about, both teams wanting to get more traffic, more shots on net, but I do think we're going to see a similar game to last weekend in a lower shot total, and leading to lower goalie saves. I don't think it's necessarily the puck's going to be going in the net, but I think maybe just overall lower shot total.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Toros are going to do a better job of limiting shots against Lucas, so I'm going to take the under here. We haven't seen a lot of teams get to 30 shots on goal on the Toros, so I'll go under.
Well, I was going to go over for this one. I'm going to go under now based on what y'all said. Obviously Lucas has seen many of things, and if you see on our Instagram and the graphics that we post, he's an absolute beast. But I'm going to go under on this just to save him the work for tonight. And our last one, we have total Minot shots just in general. Shots on goal, 27.5 over under. Oh yeah, it is me. I'm going to go over. I want to see just a lot of chaos happening in the Mesa Arena just this weekend in general. So I'm going to go over.
I'm going to go under on this one. I think, just based on what I've said, it was a lower, offensive battle last weekend. I think Joe Exter has done a really good job fundamentally with this Norsemen team, especially defensively, keeping the puck out from the front of the net. So I'm going to take the under.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm taking the over. I think, we're out of the MAC in St. Cloud. No more low ceiling, no more low glass. I think that stuff helps contribute to limiting offense. Also, I know looking back after last weekend, just 39 shots on goal, I'm sure the message to the boys this week was they needed to get more pucks on net. So I would look for the Toros to shoot a lot more tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and take the over on the 27.5 shots on goal. That'll bring us to our McDonald's Toros trivia question. This one, very trivial. Which Toro went to state for tennis in high school? So, yeah, your options: Ty James, Chuck Owens, John Small, or Connor Toohey. Which Toro do you think made their state high school tennis tournament?
I don't know if this is as much of a guess because I've a process of elimination with this one. I'm gonna go Ty James. I think he has the build for tennis, and I think he also has the mentality for tennis. So I'm gonna go with Ty James.
Yeah, total shot in the dark here. I'm going to take Connor Toohey. I just think, I haven't talked a whole lot to Toohey recently.
Southern California kid,
so
warm weather.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
I'm going to take Toohey.
I was thinking of putting in an easy one and putting one of the Euros in. Just not that Euros don't play tennis, but they couldn't have gone to a state tournament. But you know what? I decided to make it a little bit harder. Put 4 American kids in there. So get your guesses in, and you can win a free lunch from our friends at Dakota Drive McDonald's.
All right. And with that, do y'all have any final thoughts just going into tonight's game against St. Cloud?
I think you have 4 points behind these guys in the standings. You took 3 out of 4 points off them last weekend, but because they got the win, they picked up 2 as well. So you really only picked up 1 point on them last weekend. A weekend sweep at home to start a 4-game homestand could really put the guys, in a good place, not just mentally, but literally in the standings. They could jump up quite a bit depending on how the other games go. St. Cloud's in second place. It makes a big statement towards the rest of the league. You look at the other teams in the division. We haven't gotten to play Watertown. We haven't gotten to play the Mallards. Everyone that's ahead of us on points has gotten to beat up a little bit on the expansion teams. We're going to get our run at them later. If you can keep yourself towards the top now, you can really go on a run in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I know I sound like a broken record, but that middle pack in the Central Division so far is really tight. 4 games here at home for the Toros. Big homestand, at least, I guess, contextually compared to the rest of the season. 2 weekends at home is a big homestand, so I think the Toros will take advantage this weekend, and if they can, I think you can see them climb up the rankings.
All right, and that will do it for the Farmers Union Insurance pregame show. Now we'll turn it over to Josh Carlock for tonight's starting lineups.
Evening, Toro fans. The Minot Minotauros welcome you to the Pepsi Rink at Mesa Arena for tonight's matchup between the visiting St. Cloud Norsemen and your Minot Minotauros. Are you ready for some Minotauros hockey?
The Magic City. For folks who ain't familiar with the term charge ahead, well, this barn brings a whole new meaning. Hours spent training to be the best. To really show what it means to be a Minotauro. Folks, this is where hockey happens.
Jack O'Hannison. John Small gives the Toros the lead once again. Shot it in. Bobby Wilkins second of the night. Has it brings the Toros win. It is loud in here. Toros. The second Central Cup in franchise history. And it's in. Murray, recorded. 3-0. Tauros Uhala. It's his second of the night. It's in. Shot it's in. Short and in goal. Is there a better place to play junior hockey than Minot, North Dakota? Now it's time to meet your SRT Communications Toros starting lineup. In goal from Stockholm, Sweden, number 60, Lucas Fuede. On
defense from Chicago, Illinois, number 6, Kevin Tauros. On defense from Council Bluffs, Iowa, number 2, Ty James. At left wing from McKenna, Illinois, number 23, Ian Spencer. At center from Orland Park, Illinois, number 18, John Small. At right wing from Riga, Latvia, number 88, Leo Sabulis. And your Magic City Discovery Center captains, Bo and Eli Broussard. Your Tauros are led by Cody Campbell. He is assisted by Tyler Edner and Wyatt Wazalencha. Toro fans, at this time we ask, as rise as you are able, as the Minot Air Force Base Honor Guard presents our nation's colors. Performing our national anthem is Elijah Robertson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And welcome inside the Mesa Arena for Friday Night Tauros hockey. It's Norsemen, it's Tauros, it's the Great River rivalry as always. I'm Edward Eamon, joined alongside by Ken Oda. Ken, both these teams squared off last weekend in St. Cloud. Tauros and St. Cloud both split. Tauros take 304 points. So the season series tied 2-1-1. Tauros looking to climb up the Central Division standings.
Yeah, Edward, it was a good weekend last weekend for the Tauros, picking up 3 points. The downside is you do lose that second game in overtime, so Norsemen pick up 2 points, which means on the weekend you're really only +1, hoping for a better result overall. Tauros still 2 games in hand on these guys and just 4 points behind them in the standings, which means you're virtually tied if you can win those 2 extra games. And for the Tauros, all those extra games remain against the expansion squads, so you gotta think, despite the Tauros being technically on the outside looking in the playoff picture, by the time we get to Christmas break, that won't be the case.
Tauros wearing the home cream and cardinal. Norsemen in their traveling black. Good crowd on hand. Puck is down, away we go. Norsemen control off the draw. It's carried up the near side by Runso. Runso will fire one in on net. That one gloved and held by Svedina. And it was Runso who had the overtime winner on Saturday night for the Norsemen. Tauros did a nice job, however, fighting back with 2 goals in that third period.
Yeah, kind of a mixed bag, right? Anytime you go into the third period trailing and you can escape with at least a point, you're happy. At the same time, Tauros led that game with under 2.5 minutes to play, and they let St. Cloud off the hook, so that's disappointing as well.
Crane will throw it into the neutral zone. Tauros take over. It's James far side. He'll shovel this into the offensive zone. Runsel's there to clean it up for St. Cloud. Settled down and carried to the near side by Miller. Miller into the neutral zone. He finds Clowkins. Clowkins couldn't quite settle that one down. Blue takes it across the blue line. Offensive zone. Good stick there by Perot to break that play up. Puck trickles to the near side corner. Eventually he's picked up by Uhala. He skates to the far side. Good defense there by Clowkins to put a body on as shot is soaked up and saved once again by Svedina. Entering this one leading the NA in goals against average. So good, 2 good goaltenders as well. Back leading. Good performance last weekend for St. Cloud as well. Obviously the Tauros get the win on Friday night. Just 1 goal though. So both these teams, good goaltending, good defense last week, and seeing if that trend continues. Offensive zone draw won by the Norsemen. Hunt will throw it to the far side corner. Tauros digging in against the boards. It's Hunt who eventually will corral it and ring it around the Toro net. Picked up near side by Bronson Hunt. Bronson Hunt and Tanner Hunt both on the same line for this Toro team. Tauros poke it back out of the neutral zone. Geyer will throw it in. Tauros in the far side corner. It's Mahler. Mahler's pass is intercepted and picked up by Hunt. Hunt will backhand one wide. Rebound out to the near side. Geyer will throw one behind the Toro net once again. Push towards the center of the net. Tauros take over. It's carried out of the defensive zone by O'Hannison. O'Hannison will shovel it far side. Offensive zone. Batten trying to get something towards the net.
Good stick by Geyer.
Rebound near side. Both teams digging at the boards. It's freed up by St. Cloud. Taken over. Lundy will ring it around his zone net and find Hunt neutral zone. Hunt will just throw this one in and go for a change. Tauros will work out of their own zone. 18:05 to go, first period here at Mesa Arena. Coin backhand into the offensive zone. Gallivan will be in the way of that one. Both teams will trade possessions in the neutral zone. Tauros will eventually dump it behind the St. Cloud net. Leading, give it to Hunt. Hunt near side. Excuse me, that was Gallivan near side. As Cumming will pick this one up. Neutral zone, far side. He cleared into the offensive zone. It's Hubert Clark near side for the Tauros. Clark seeing his second game in a Toro uniform. One of the younger guys already committed to Western Michigan.
207 defensemen in the lineup for the Tauros. Clark and Perot.
It's picked up. Neutral zone by Wishart. Norsemen go for a change. Tauros out of their own zone. Cross-size pass here finds Nichols. Offensive zone. Nichols skates and will fire one towards the net. Rebound off the pad of Leadon. As the Tauros tried to clean that up, Jack Edwards was in front of the St. Cloud net. St. Cloud, though, pokes this one free and sends it into the neutral zone.
I don't know that that was a shot. I think that was actually a pass intended for the backside, and Edwards ended up hitting the goalie.
Shot goes off the pad of Svedin. Wishart was in on that one. Tauros trying to work this one free, intercepted by Runso. Runso skates near side corner. He elects just to go behind the net. Centering pass fired on net by Miller, soaked up and held by Svedin for a whistle with 16 of 44 to go in the first period. Early shots on net in favor of St. Cloud, 3-1.
Despite the shot totals, I feel like it's been a good start for the Tauros. They've got more offense going towards our left. They just haven't resulted in shots on goal. We saw that last 2-on-1. So Hannison had a chance, or set up a chance, I should say, for his line mates.
Norsemen working the offensive zone. Hawkins will try to feed one through traffic. Tauros cut this one off. It's thrown behind the net, far side. Norsemen still working. Jurkic will throw one center ice. Tauros clean up small, tries to corral a puck near side. Farrell was also in there. Spencer will pick it up in the neutral zone. Cross-ice pass to Mahler. Mahler skating in. Will get cut off by Harris. Harris throws it far side. Tauros had it for a brief moment, but St. Cloud will gather in their own defensive zone. Long pass here. It's pursued after by Hunt. Hunt couldn't get to it. Svedin poked it near side. Norseman working. It's Mahler behind his own net. Will feed it to the far side to Taboulis. Taboulis will clear this out in the neutral zone. Smalls hustling down the ice along with Gallivan. The race is on, but it will be called for an icing. So an offensive zone draw will come out for St. Cloud.
Tauros and Norsemen, middle of a 4-game set. Surprised we haven't seen a little bit more carryover from last weekend post-whistle here early.
Tauros pick it up near side, neutral zone at Spencer. Spencer across the blue line. He'll stop and feed it past center ice. Eventually Mahler will hack one in. It goes behind St. Cloud net. Spencer will meet it near side to Clark. Clark will fire one. That one cut off through traffic by Hunt. Tauros pick it right back up. Yahala. Ring run around the net. It's Gibbs chasing after this one far side. Both teams will dig in the corner as this one's quickly thrown out to Yahala. Yahala skates behind Leedon's net and actually pass one timer there by Spencer, but will find the back of the net. Tauros strike early. Ian Spencer, his 5th on the year. Tauros lead 1-0. Ian Spencer will get the Tauros on the board. Ken, now we talked about getting this crowd into it and getting off to a quick start. Ian Spencer does just that for the Tauros as they now lead 1-0.
A fantastic feed to Spence. Probably not a guy you want to leave alone in the slot like that. He's able to finish to give the Tauros the lead and make me look smart with my player to watch.
Tauros goal brought to you by Northern Plains Equipment. Goal scored by number 23, Ian Spencer. Assisting on the goal, number 10, Jesse Uhala. Goal scored at 4:46 of the first period.
Just as we were getting the goal announcement, St. Cloud answers. Hudson Blue quickly off the neutral zone draw. Beats Lucas Svedin to tie this one up at 1.
The goals are 13 seconds apart.
So we're right back where we started, even at 1. Hudson Blue, the captain on this Norseman team. That goal is good for his 6th of the year, his 9th point on the season.
It was a broken play and a bouncing puck that just ended up in front. And Hudson Blue, look what I found on the doorstep, and before Swedes could even react, it was jammed through the 5-hole.
Fleming works this out from behind the net far side. It's picked up neutral zone by Marvin Cordes as Runso gets a stick on that one. Norsemen poke it back out into the neutral zone. Tauros chasing after this one. Mahler will work up against Wishart far side as Buck is freed up, controlled by St. Cloud. Geyer will fire one in off the pad and cleaned up by Crane as the Norsemen jump out to a 2-1 lead.
And that goal comes 48 seconds after the last one.
So we get another look at that. It was freed up off the far side boards. It was good hustle by St. Cloud to trap that one. Geyer on the initial shot, and Crane cleans it up off the rebound.
Really good feed out of the corner to Geyer up at the point. That is not an easy pass to see.
Tauros control off the draw. Quick shot on net, gloved and held by Leiden. St. Cloud jumps out early advantage. Shots on net 7-3. So a quick start for the Tauros, quickly erased by St. Cloud, and a defensive battle last weekend. Didn't see a whole lot of this. 3 goals in the first period between the two teams. It's a defensive zone draw won by the Norsemen. It's thrown around the net to Geyer. Geyer will work it free far side. It's fed neutral zone. Farrell couldn't get a stick on it, so the Tauros will shovel it offensive zone. Nichols is in on the pressure along with Edwards. It's fed far side neutral zone and eventually dumped in by St. Cloud. It'll roll the distance for an icing at 13:46 to go. First period play.
We played 16 minutes and 14 seconds, and we've seen 3 goals. Last weekend we saw 6 total.
This draw will come out to Leiden's right side. The grouping out there for the Tauros is Small, Spencer, and Tabulis. A little shakeup in some of these lines entering this weekend is another defensive zone draw is controlled by the Norsemen. Good job here by James to hack it in. Blues sent to the bench. He got caught in the crossfire of that one. It was hacked in. Tauros work it out of their own zone. It's sent in. Gallivan near side corner in his own zone will set up and throw it far side.
Hurt. He went off the bench immediately. They grabbed a towel. I think he's cut.
As we'll have another icing. Icings, as always, brought to you by Minot's Finest Collision Center. Last time this St. Cloud team will make the trip up here to the Mesa. Next time these two teams will meet will be in January. Small in on the draw for the Tauros. He'll control it, sent down to Hagstrom. Hagstrom will throw behind the net to Bulis. Will chase after this one, back to Hagstrom, near side point. He'll fire one, it goes off of Hunt. Buck will settle in the near side corner. Small will dig this one free. Norsemen take over. It's worked back up ice by Farrell. Farrell will just throw this one in. He'll go for a change. Tauros chases behind their own net. Hagstrom sends it far side. It's picked up by O'Hannison. O'Hannison try to work it up to neutral zone. Small gets a stick on it, but good defense here as Small gets taken down to the ice. Puck's freed up, controlled by the Tauros, sent near side to Hagstrom. Hagstrom will work into the neutral zone to O'Hannison. O'Hannison skating through some traffic eventually into the offensive zone. He'll chip it down behind Norseman net as Jurkic will intercept this one and skate back up ice. Cross ice pass through, taken away by Yahala. Yahala will throw to Spencer. Spencer will neutral zone, quick pass there by O'Hannison. Can't find a home. Tauros try to work it free out of the neutral zone. Cumming picks it up. Offensive zone shot off the pad. Rebound out to the far side corner. Yahala will gather this one as it's cleared back up into the neutral zone. St. Cloud will peel back and reset. Coyne works this far side as it gets tipped up and out of play for a whistle. 11:55 to go. Norsemen still with the 8-3 shot on net advantage.
Tauros squander the momentum that they had. Off that first goal.
Draw comes out to Sven's right side, quickly controlled by the Norseman. Shot gets broken up. Eventually tipped near side corner. It's Mahler picking it up. We'll give it to Fleming. Fleming will skate in back along the far side boards. Eventually work it up to A coin will battle up against Ishart as eventually it's freed up. Taken over by Marvin Cordes, excuse me. He'll throw it back to Fleming. Fleming center ice to a coin. A coin gets taken down, but a good feed there to Marvin Cordes. Far pass to Funk. Funk couldn't get a stick on it. Eventually, though, he'll throw it near side as Clark will meet this one off that's tipped off the crossbar. Rebound out to the far side corner. A coin settles this one down, throws it far side point to Gibbs. Gibbs will fire one in as Funk will work in the far side corner. Puck freed up. Marvin Cordes back to Gibbs. Gibbs near side to Clark. Clark's shot will get tipped up and out of play for a whistle.
You mentioned the line shuffle for tonight. The Batten, Hollow, Hannison line, that stays together, but every other line sees a little bit of change. But Spencer and Small stay together. They get Taboulis on their line with them. Funk and Marvin Cordes usually play together when they're in. They stay together, so it's just that third member of each line that gets shuffled.
This has worked free neutral zone. Pro picks it up as he'll fire one in. Edwards chasing after this one near side. Both teams 2-on-2 battle. Couple bodies hit the ice as this one's pinned up against the boards. Eventually freed up. Edwards will wrap around, try. No one the center of the ice. Good opportunity there, though. Making something out of nothing. This is picked up by Lundy. Lundy will fire one off the pad. The blocker, excuse me, and eventually covered by Svedin. As we'll get some extracurriculars found the whistle. Ken, you talked about it last week. These two teams
it was the
going
spray
at
of the
it.
goaltender that Nichols took exception to.
Went off the blocker of Svedin right down, and Lucas didn't initially know where it was at. He eventually covered and held it.
And Lundy, as he went to the net, gave Lucas the hard stop and sprayed him with a good amount of snow.
So
Davin Nichols took exception. The question now is, Nichols got a glove off and was throwing punches, so they call a 2-minute slash on Carter Lundy and a 4-minute double minor for roughing on Davin Nichols, which will give the Norsemen the power play, but and it looks like they're going to make the Tauros put an extra guy in. And I think that's because it occurred on a stoppage. Had that occurred in live play, it would have gone 4-on-4 for 2 minutes, followed by the power play.
Toros are going to go to the Papa John's PK for the first time tonight, looking at this St. Cloud power play unit. Just under 23% on the season. Good for third in the division. Draw comes out to Svedin's right side, is controlled by St. Cloud, is skated far side by Geyer. Geyer will throw it behind the net to Hunt, as Hunt will throw it back far side to Geyer. Both teams pretty good on special teams so far this year. Bronson Hunt will feed it to Tanner Hunt. Tanner Hunt behind the Toro net. Far side for the one-timer Miller. That one wide of the net. Cleaned up by Hunt as it bounces into the glove of Svedin for a whistle with 1:29 to go on the extra man advantage for St. Cloud.
And now we're starting to see again tempers start to flare. John Small didn't like the way one of the Hunts was standing over Svedin after that whistle.
Gerald comes out to Svedin's left side, batting on the draw. Norseman control. Miller from the blue line near side to Bronson Hunt. He's working up against some defense by Marvin Cordes. He'll feed it to Tanner Hunt. Tanner Hunt far side to Runso. Runso, his shot blocked up through traffic. Toros clear this one as St. Cloud will retreat and retrieve with 1:09 to go on the power play. This is picked up center ice by Sandhu. Sandhu will ring this one in behind the Toro net. Svedin was out of his net as the puck got tipped up off his stick high into the air and eventually near side corners. This is freed up. Fed to Miller at the blue line. He will throw it to Runsell. Runsell will fire one that's tipped through traffic. Rebound near side is.
That was a good save by Lucas as that puck changed directions.
Miller goes to Runsell. Runsell will fire one off the stick of Sandhu. Sandhu will eventually settle this one down as it's fed back center ice to Sandhu by Hunt. Puck goes wide, so Runsell far side is it's once again cleared by the Toros. Good stick there by Gibbs to get in the way of that pass and clear it down the ice. Final 20 seconds of the Papa John's PK for the Toros. Miller will carry it in the neutral zone, leave it for Wishart. Wishart across the blue line, offensive zone. He rings it behind the net of Svedin. Crane near side corner. Hardacre also in there for St. Cloud. Eventually work free. Wishart from the blue line. He'll try to look to go toward Calkins. Eventually it finds him as he backhands one in. Toros come full strength. Tabulis out of the box. Nichols still in there serving the rest of his 4 minutes. Near side, St. Cloud still working offensive zone. Wishart goes to Crane. Crane will fire one up and out of play off of Svedin. 7:59 to go. First period, St. Cloud shots on net in favor of them at 12-5 as we hit the media timeout.
Time for our Northern Century salute.
Salute. Tonight, the Toros honor Captain Rivera Matsuo. Captain Rivera Matsuo commissioned through Officer Training School and currently serves as the 91st Operations Group Standardization and Evaluation Chief of Programs. She is responsible for assessing the proficiency, currency, and training of the Minuteman III weapon system and its operators. As the unit self-assessment manager, she liaisons with the 91st Missile Wing Inspection General Office to ensure, uphold, and enforce group-wide compliance, readiness, and diligent state of discipline. Her steadfast efforts culminated in her receipt of the 2024 Air and Space Forces Association Commander's Chief Award. When she isn't out operating the world's premier combat-ready nuclear force, Linda enjoys horseback riding, ice skating, and swimming. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Captain Linda Rivera Matsuo.
As both teams break from the media timeout. St. Cloud with a 2-1 lead on the Toros, just over halfway through one period of play. Offensive zone draw for the Norsemen. We're back to even strength. Draw comes out to Svedin's left side. It's Yahala in on the draw for the Toros. He wins it, feeds it to Clark. Clark tries to throw it off the glass into the neutral zone and eventually find its way there. Gallivan will meet it near side and fire this one in. Svedin out of his net. Near side to Clark. Clark to Batten. Batten cross-eyes pass to Gibbs is Hannison will get it at the far side boards. Backhand this one into the offensive zone. Both teams battling near side. That puck rung around the St. Cloud net. Yahala's in there for the Toros. Batten for a moment. Gallivan pinning Yahala up against the boards as puck is still pinned up. Eventually freed up. Clark tries to chop it into the offensive zone. It's eventually carried out though by St. Cloud. Worked far side to Jurkic. Jurkic up against the boards. 2-on-2 battle. It's freed up and carried. Puck's clear down the distance. It'll go for an icing.
Hudson Blue may or may not return. We're getting a report from downstairs. Lost a few teeth along the bench there. I didn't really see what happened. This was, of course, about maybe 7-8 minutes of game time ago. He went down the hallway.
And you look at the St. Cloud team, down
already
quite
shorthanded,
down quite a bit.
They have no healthy scratches with them on this trip. talking to Jared Becker, the voice of the Norsemen, the only player not dressed that they have with them is their third goalie.
Toros work this out of their own zone. It's thrown into neutral. Clark will go after this one. Gibbs will get a pass fed into the defensive zone as both teams once again battling far side boards. It's freed up, controlled by the Toros. Clark will bring it around the Toros net. Near side is Gibbs. Gibbs will throw it neutral zone. It goes off the stick of Ohannesson, controlled by Miller. Miller feed it into the corner to Runso. Runso pressured by Ohannesson is Ohannesson with a nice offensive zone takeaway. Tries to feed it towards somebody, but
He had Funk and Marvin Quarters going to the front. Just couldn't get a pass through.
Miller far side corner. Cleared into the neutral zone for the Norsemen. Toros do a nice job to dump that one right back in. 6:04 to go. First period to play. Toros working in front of the net. Quick takeaway there by the Toros, but St. Cloud does a nice job of getting it right back as they'll not carry this into the zone. Sandu to Miller. Miller on the one-timer. That one wide. Rebound out to the near side. A coin will pick it up neutral zone. As he'll dump this one in. Funk will race behind the St. Cloud net. Eventually will gather it far side corner, but St. Cloud will get two defenders in on this one to pin the puck up against the boards. Toros also have a coin in there.
That last play for the Toros in front, bouncing puck, looked a lot like Hudson Blues' goal. Toros just couldn't find the loose change.
Puck eventually freed up off the far side boards. Hagstrom will throw one off the pad. A lead and rebound near side, controlled by a coin. A coin will get tripped up for delayed penalties. So the Norsemen eventually touch up for a whistle. Toros going to go to the First Western Bank and Trust power play for the first time tonight. It's Tyler Wishart being sent to the box. Get another look at the penalty here.
And this is where, if you're the Toros, it'd be great to tie the game for sure, but we've talked about how shorthanded the Norsemen are. Now when they're actually playing shorthanded,
Yeah.
fatigue starts to become an issue. It gives you a chance to really lean on them, make them expend energy, right?
St. Cloud will clear this defensive zone, drawn to neutral. James will retreat back into the Toros defensive zone behind the net of Svedin as Toros will work this out near side to Yahala. Yahala across the blue line. He'll leave it off the boards and chase after this one behind the net of Leiden. Toros work it out. Far side is James. James down the blue line to Spencer. Spencer to the far side point, right back to James as they'll pass it back and forth. Eventually Yahala gets it one-timer. Ohannesson gloved and held by Leiden for a whistle. 1:25 to go on the power play for the Toros. Toros power play unit 23% on the year. Second in the division. If my memory serves me correctly, the first goal in that third period on Saturday night was off a power play to pull the Toros even.
It was.
I know it was initially a 5-on-3, and then the Toros were able to cash in. So looking for more of that. Norsemen clear it down the ice. Svedin feed it near side to Yahala. Yahala in neutral zone will leave it for James. James to Ohannesson. Ohannesson will throw this one in behind the net of Leiden. Yahala up the boards to Batten. Batten digging up against the glass. His puck's freed up. Yahala in the far side corner will give it to James. James from the blue line to Spencer. Spencer far side to Batten. Batten into corner will gotta chop this one up the boards as James will keep it in the offensive zone. Gives it to Batten. Batten skating through some traffic along the far side. He'll leave it back to the blue line to James. James to Yahala. Yahala near side to Ohannesson. Ohannesson will fire one in off the pad. Cleaned up by Spencer. Covered and held for a whistle.
Late run at Spencer taken after that shot as well by Schartz. 29 ticks left to talk on the power play for the Toros. Second group coming out.
Small in on the draw to Leadon's right side for the Tauros. Norsemen win this one as it's thrown to the far side and eventually cleared by Farrell. Tauros will have to work quickly. 21 seconds remain on the power play. Mahler behind his own net will give it to Fleming. Fleming near side to Small. Small into the neutral zone will collide with Funk as Miller will pick this one up for the Norsemen. Skating into the offensive zone as the final few seconds expire on the Tauros power play. Norsemen will hold this in their own zone. We're back to full strength. 3:11 to go in the first period of play. Miller to Runso. Runso from behind his own net, right back to Miller. Fed into the neutral zone. Runso across the blue line, gains the offensive zone. He'll leave it for Wishart. One-timer here by Sandhu, just wide of the net. Good opportunity there as
He had the
Sandhu
whole net.
skated right in. As the Tauros will eventually corral this one and chip it back out of their own zone. Tauros able to get some fresh legs on the ice. Nevertheless, Geyer near side in the offensive zone. Centering pass there broken up by Marvin Cordes. Hacked back on net. Tauros will carry this back out of their own zone. 2:27 to go. Tauros in the offensive zone. Marvin Cordes tried to get to that one. Crane, though, controls across the blue line. Offensive zone will fire one off the stick of Svedin, up and out of play for a whistle. Well, let's get some check-ins here real fast on Facebook and YouTube. No, we haven't got to these all night. The Coates is checking in on Facebook. Sally B and the Chicago crew also aboard. Earl Morgan joining us. The Creasers from Illinois checking in. The Smalls watching from Orland Park. John Granius also checking in from the Windy City. Tauros in the neutral zone. Pass goes off the stick of a coin. Leadon out of his net, pokes this near side as it's carried across the blue line, fired off the pad of Svedin. Lundy skating in along the far side there for the Norsemen. Tauros control this one as a coin will feed it back up into the neutral zone. Gallivan eventually gathering this one in his own zone. Work near side as Hunt couldn't quite get to that one. Tauros offensive zone takeaway for a brief moment. St. Cloud takes it right back and clears it towards the net of Svedin. Svedin far side to Small. Good takeaway here by Lundy, though, against the board. Centering pass there controlled by Spencer and thrown back up in the neutral zone. This one's picked up by Small. Small to Tabulis. Tabulis right back towards the direction of Small. Broken up as it will trickle into the glove of Leadon for whistle with 1:22 to go in this opening period of play.
Shots are 16-10 in favor of the Norsemen. It doesn't feel like it was that lopsided through the first 20, but a lot of the Tauros' chances have not resulted. The Tauros' best offensive chances have not resulted in shots on goal.
Yahala in on the draw for the Tauros in the offensive zone. He will control him on the far side corner. Give it to the blue line to Mahler. Mahler goes right back to Yahala. He'll get a stick on it as it will end up near side to Batten. Batten back to the blue line to Fleming. Fleming cross ice pass to Mahler as that one's thrown up and out of play for another whistle. And again, it feels like there's been some segmented rushes for St. Cloud. It hasn't all been offensive zone pressure this whole first period. Nevertheless, though, 6 shots on net, or at least a 6-shot advantage over the Tauros. Tauros get that goal early, and St. Cloud with 2 unanswered. Yahala back on the draw. It's to Leadon's left side. They tie up off the draw. St. Cloud had it for a moment. Fleming will pick it up for the Tauros. He fires one wide of the net. Rebound off the boards behind the Norseman net. Batten will chop this one along the far side boards. Final minute of play here brought to you by Northern Plains Equipment as Fleming will throw this one in to keep it in the offensive zone for the Tauros. Yahala chases after it near side corner. It'll ring around the net. Eventually after the neutral zone, picked up by Jurkic. Jurkic will fire one as Fleming laid out to block that one, but it went wide of the net. Norseman keeping in the offensive zone. It's sent behind the net of Svedin as Mahler had it for a moment. Jurkic in on the pressure as the Tauros finally clear this up into the neutral zone. It's controlled for a moment by Harris as he'll just hack this one in. Mahler out of his own zone will throw it into the offensive zone off the stick. I believe that was of Yahala as the Toros go for a change. Final 10 seconds of play. Norsemen dump this one in. Toros controlling their own zone, sent to neutral as Small hit the ice there. Horn sounds, first period in the books. Through 20 minutes of play, the Norsemen with a 2-1 lead over the Toros. Ian Spencer with the early goal, but St. Cloud answers courtesy of Sammy Crane and Hudson Blue to give them the 2-1 lead at the first break.
Yeah, for the Toros, you got the ideal start, and then as soon as they got it, the wheels came off. A strong play out of the corner to Spencer in the slot. But literally 13 seconds later, and then not much longer after that. Here's Ian
Tauros
Spencer.
fans, I'm doing the Farmers Union Insurance intermission interview with Ian Spencer. So you scored the first goal of the game tonight. Can you walk us through that play?
I mean, it was a really good look by Jesse. Kind of just stood in the middle of the ice and pondered all.
And you were Ken Oda's player to watch today. What is it going to take to settle this game down from the Norsemen?
I think we just got to keep stacking shifts, and I think at the end we're going to run them through the wall.
Okay, thank you.
And you mentioned it, Ken, you know, a
All right,
good,
Tauros fans.
good start for the Toros. A little bit of a deflating few minutes afterwards, though.
A good response, really, by St.
Yeah.
Cloud. You don't want to take anything away from. They've played a good road period, and a good response, a good pushback, and they've done a really good job, I think, overall of clogging up the middle of the ice. The Toros have tried on the rush to put some passes through that haven't connected, and if those chances do result in shots, the Toros probably overall get a better outcome in that period. But there were several odd man rushes that died on defender sticks or in the corner of the ice.
And, you know, we saw a lot of that last weekend, really with both teams, but St. Cloud doing a nice job of, you know, keeping the shot totals low. But I guess, you know, you can say that for both teams. Really for that weekend, you said, Ken, 39 combined shots on net for the Toros last weekend.
Yeah, just 19 on Saturday, and that was with an overtime game. 20 the night before. Already 10 so far in this period, so an improvement for the Toros. But 16 shots allowed against is not very Toro-like.
Yeah, and I know we showed the goaltending matchup. Didn't get to talk about the numbers with Beck leading a 1.871 goals against average, good for a .9226 save percentage with 3 shutouts. A 9-1-3 record for the St. Cloud team. So, you know, Toros with a goaltending advantage, at least in goals against average with Lucas Fadin, but Norsemen also led by some really good goaltending here early this year.
Yeah, and I don't think the goaltending is really to fault for any of the first 3 goals we saw tonight. The first one for the Toros, it was a good feed from Yuhala into Spencer in the middle, a quick one-timer. Not a lot Leiden could have done there, and we talked about it. Hudson Blue just found a bouncing puck in front, and before Swedes could even react, it was behind him. And then the crane rebound off the shot from Tyler Geyer. The person who made that whole play was the vision by Tyler Wishart out of the corner.
Yeah.
You know, that's a pass that goes from the far side corner to the near side point.
Yeah.
And then the shot goes back to the far side. So if you're the goaltender, you're Lucas Sweden, you're moving from your right to your left to respond to the pass, and then the shot comes back to your right. So he wasn't able to get a lot of control on the rebound. He's able to get his blocker and his leg pad on it, but then it laid loose in front. No one picked up Sam Crane. He was able to tuck home the rebound. So not an easy shot for Swedes to make sure that there wasn't a rebound on, and no help cleaning it up.
Look at special teams. Both penalty kill units effective as the power play goes 0 for 1. Both for the Norsemen and Tauros.
I think next up we have some billet appreciation coming. Looking down in the tunnel, it looks like it'll be Billy Batten and his billets, the Broussards.
All right, fans. It's time to meet Billy Batten's billet family, the Broussards. Colby is a part of the United States Air Force, and Mackenzie works for Minot Public Schools. This is their first year billeting, and they have called the Magic City home for 1 year this December. They have 2 sons, and they happen to be our Magic City Discovery Center captains tonight, Eli and Bo. Their favorite thing about being a billet is how it helps their children grow into better hockey players and to have such a great role model living in their house. Fans, let's hear it one more time for the Broussards.
So with that, we'll send it
Tomorrow
out
might
to
be
break.
hard
And when we
to
come back,
see.
the Four Bears Casino and Lodge Inhibition
But
Report.
tomorrow is right in front of us. And we're always looking towards it. Investing another $4 billion in renewable energy and low carbon solutions through 2025. And lowering emissions by modernizing our infrastructure. Bridging to a sustainable energy future.
As far as what Plains Egg has to offer, great pay along with some of the best benefits that I've seen in the job market.
The company understands the importance of family and family values. You need to have that time with your children. Plains Ag is 100% family oriented.
I love working here, very helpful.
There's no problem it feels like we can't solve when we're working together.
Go to plainsegg.com, fill out the application, and we'll be in touch with you shortly.
The Lamplighter is Minot's premier liquor store. Whether you're looking for wine, cold beer, or a fine bourbon, stop in and browse our selection, or make a quick stop at our convenient drive-thru. The Lamplighter Lounge and Liquor Store.
No, 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 no. Oh! Wait! We have an emergency fund! Oh! 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 What?
Since 1977, Northwest Tire's been your partner on the road for over 40 years. People have put their trust in our quality brand tires and expert service on the roads and in the fields for work, play, and travel. Northwest Tire, keeping you rolling down the road.
Our history sets us on our path. From the moment we're born, we begin our walk through life. We learn so we can discover. We find our passion and develop our skills. We build relationships. We start thinking about what we're going to leave behind to those we love. Let our legacy help shape yours. First International Bank and Trust. No matter your place in life, we can help you live first.
Nothing has embodied the American spirit like the family farmer. Year after year, they continue to work the land and plant their crops. Through droughts, floods, and uncertain markets, they keep that spirit alive with another crop harvested for the next generation. And for that, we tip our hats to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
The Four Bears Casino Sportsbook has a new look. Enjoy Vegas-style betting in comfort. Play and qualify to win trips to Vikings or Raiders NFL games. Order a drink at the dedicated bar. Then kick back in a lounger and watch the full wall display. Feel the action all the way to the final moment and claim your winnings. Book it for private draft parties or game day too. Visit the remodeled Sportsbook at Four Bears Casino and Lodge, 4 miles west of Newtown.
And welcome back in to the Four Bears Casino and Lodge Intermission Report. Edward Neiman and Ken Oda aboard for this one. The Norsemen with a 2-1 lead over the Tauros at the first break. summary of your scoring. Toros get on the board for first, off the stick of Ian Spencer, his 5th goal on the year, assist on that one coming to Jesse Uhala as he continues to add to his point total for this Toro team. Norsemen respond. Sammy Crane with his 7th of the year, assists from Tyler Geyer and Tyler Wishart, and then Hudson Blue. That's his 6th of the year. Jurkic in on the assist. So that is where we are at. Norsemen outshoot the Toros 16-10 in that first period, and as we mentioned before, nothing going on the special teams as both teams go 0 for 1 on the power play.
Yeah, a tough start for the Toros. Really just a bad minute, right? You look at that period as a whole, you don't like the shot total against 16, but a lot of that 16 can be contributed to that 1 minute and the power play.
Yeah,
and the Toros killed that power play off, so all the damage really comes in that 1 bad minute if you're the Toros.
So with that, we'll take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard, Danbury and New Hampshire with a 9-2 lead with about 5 and some change, 6:54 to go in the third period. Rochester and Maryland tied up at 2 apiece. The third period just getting underway out in Maryland. Elmira and Maine, the Nordiques with a 6-2 lead over the Aviators. Third period just about to get underway at Northeast and Johnstown. Northeast with a 4-0 lead at the second intermission. Philadelphia and New Jersey leads 2-0. Third period just getting underway in that one. Shreveport and Oklahoma up 5-2 on the Mudbugs. Back here in the Central Division, Bismarck with a 4-0 lead over the Mallards. That one at the second intermission. Bismarck looking for their 14th win on the year. 1 regulation loss and 1 shootout loss. That shootout loss, of course, coming against this Toros team, the Wendigo and Jets, an all-Wisconsin battle. Wendigo lead at 3-1, just over halfway through the second period in that one. North Iowa up 3-1 on the Shamrocks down in Mason City. That one, final few minutes of the second period. Odessa and Amarillo. Amarillo leads 2-1. Second period just getting underway in that one. Austin trails Aberdeen 2-1. Wings with the lead halfway through the second period. Down in South Dakota, New Mexico and El Paso knotted up at 1. 7 minutes to go in the first period of that. Corpus Christi with a 1-0 lead. Just over halfway through the first period. Still to come, Minnesota, Wilderness and Anchorage, Chippewa and Kenai, and Springfield and Fairbanks up in Alaska.
I want to go back. You mentioned Bismarck looking for their 14th win, and I don't want to pick on other teams too much, but they've played Watertown 4 times. This is their 3rd game against the Mallards. You look at their showcase schedule, Danbury, historical losing season in the league last year, and they're not off to a much better start. Well, 6-11-1, much better for them, but still not a particularly strong start. Philadelphia 7-8-3, and the other team they played at the showcase is Janesville 3-10-3. So Bismarck off to a really, really strong start, no doubt about it, but still overall, you look at the 2 weekends of real good opponents, a split with us, a split with Austin.
Yeah.
They did sweep Austin. That was their one other weekend. But that a 6-2 win and a 2-1 win. So, they're 4-1-1 against us and Austin. Everyone else they've played on their schedule, not just a team with a losing record, but teams that are not doing very well at all, really, overall.
Yeah, and
overall, 7 games against expansion teams, and that like I said, their showcase schedule was about as easy as a showcase schedule as you can get.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, Ken. If the Toros can kind of push through the rest of this November month, still some tough tasks ahead. The Norsemen, Wings. Then you get the Mallards, have a game against the Bismarck. Bobcats on Thanksgiving Eve. Then you get to play some of the expansion teams. You have Watertown and then I believe the Mallards back-to-back. So, you know, if you're the Tauros, you know, it doesn't have to be, you want the weekend sweep, but it doesn't have to be. If you can go on the road, salvage splits, you put yourself in a really good position once you turn the page.
For sure, like you said, you get through this homestand against St. Cloud and Aberdeen, and you look at what the Mallards have done in division. You hope you can go there and get at least 3 points. You look at what Watertown's done. They're coming here Black Friday weekend. You should be able to get 4 points out of that. Mallards come here. You should be able to get 4 points. Same thing. And then you go to the Mallards the next weekend. You'd hope for at least 3 points there. So, as the schedule starts to ease up, the fact that the Tauros are already playing well in the division, 8-4-1 coming in, 2 games in hand, and just 2 points out of the playoff picture without any of the quote-unquote cupcake opponents, right?
Right.
Bismarck, St. Cloud, Aberdeen, Austin, they've all got to play either Watertown or Minnesota, or in some cases both. So you hope from a Tauros perspective you can continue to stay in that top 5 grouping. The Tauros did get North Iowa, who they swept one weekend, but you still have 6 games with North Iowa, 8 with Minnesota, 8 with Watertown.
Yep.
Strength of schedule the rest of the way for the Tauros, the challenge gets a little bit easier.
Those top 6 teams in the division also were, I guess, the quote-unquote original Central Division opponents, so the Tauros had a lot of familiarity there. But that'll do it for the Four Bears Casino and Lodge Intermission Report. When we come back, second period action here on the Minotauro Network from the Mesa Arena.
Better. And the best.
The same theme applies for our car and light truck tires at Northwest Tire. We offer you good tires, better tires, and the best tires. Which choice is right for you? That depends on your tire performance needs and your budget. The choice is yours. Come in and talk to one of our tire experts, and we'll help you decide which tire is best for you.
At Northwest Tire, we have tires for everyone. Needs tires that are reliable and safe to get her family where they need to be. Needs a tire that's heavy duty for all of his off-roading adventures. Needs tires that can get him from point A to point B. No matter what you drive or your budget.
Northwest Tire keeps you rolling down the road.
Life is for living. And at First International Bank and Trust, we're all about living, helping your dreams come true. Because we're not just in the banking business. We're in the first home business, the community sponsorship business, the how do I make this happen business. Making your banking life easy so you can focus on what matters most. First International Bank and Trust. Live first.
A state-of-the-art hospital and medical office building built with you in mind. The new healthcare campus and medical district, now open in Minot. Trinity Health, making more possible.
I think we have some pickles downstairs. Honey, got some good news and some bad news.
The trick to throwing well is knowing where you want the ball to go.
Like how the local bankers at First Western Bank and Trust take the time to learn about you and recommend the banking services like online banking or personal loans that keep your goals on target.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
And welcome back inside the Mesa Arena. Second period action just about to get underway between the Tauros and Norsemen. Game number 5 of the Great River rivalry. Last time this St. Cloud team will be in the building. as the Tauros will travel to St. Cloud in January, but both teams won't see each other till then. Thanks to back-to-back weekends here. Norsemen with a 2-1 lead, at the break. Tauros looking to claw their way back into this one.
Ten shots on goal that period for the Tauros. You like that. You don't like 16 against. What I think you really look for here if you're the Tauros is you try and open this game up a bit, right? We mentioned Hudson Blue, most likely out for the night. He is, I believe, being attended to by Dr. Kemet. The Tauros team dentist handles all dental emergencies from our games. The Norsemen had already only dressed 11 forwards because that's all they had health-wise. They have no healthy extra defensemen either. So fatigue will start, you would think, to be an issue.
Quick icing off the neutral zone drawn, not only tonight, but also tomorrow night.
Right.
Depending on who is available.
Also, good, not great crowd here, but a good crowd for tonight. And the reason I say good crowd for tonight is for the first time ever in Minot history, Minot has two high schools. Minot North opened this year. Both Minot High and Minot North hosting state football, high school football semifinal games this evening. The 1 and 2 seeds.
Norseman working in the offensive zone. Runso will throw it around the Toro net near side corner. Buck will squirt free into the neutral zone. Wishart will retreat to get this one along the near side boards. It's fed to Sandu center ice. Toros get a stick on it. It's eventually freed up as James controls, gives it to Perot far side. Long pass here across the blue line to Spencer. Spencer skating far side as he looks towards the center of the ice, cut off.
What a save.
And save made by Leiden. Turned back up ice, carried into the offensive zone by Jurkic. Shot that goes, a pass, shot goes off the pad, and eventually the puck will get sent to up and out of play.
Go back to that save by Leiden, though. Spencer tried to put a pass across. It deflected and came back to him. Leiden had started to move across his crease to respond to the pass. It was intended to the back side of that play. And he had to quickly push back the way he came and was still able to get the pads on Spencer's shot.
Drow will come out too with Svedin's right side. Yahala's out there along with O'Hannison, Mahler, Fleming, and Batten. Batten far side out of his own zone will feed it neutral zone near side to Yahala. Yahala across the blue line will fire one high of the net. Rebound off the boards behind the net of Leiden. Norseman will break up a pass and carry it back into the neutral zone. It's Tanner Hunt across the blue line. Far side pass to Lundy. Lundy gets pressured and held up along the boards by Yahala. Toros take back over. Batten couldn't corral this one, so Norseman back in the offensive zone, but quickly taken right back away as O'Hannison finds Yahala neutral zone. Toros turn back up ice. Worked off the near side boards and around the St. Cloud net. Mahler meets at far side point. Will backhand chop this one into the offensive zone. It's Bronson Hunt far side corner with a takeaway as he feeds it off the boards into the neutral zone. And eventually into the Toros territory. Neutral zone takeaway by Clawkins. Clawkins skating through some traffic. Good defense there by Acoin. As the Norsemen send it back out into the neutral zone and reset and clips the Toros bench. So we'll get a whistle with 17:48 to go. Second period of play. Just a lone shot on net in this period in favor of the Toros.
The football games I mentioned not going well for them. Minot sides. Minot North trailing Horace from West Fargo 28-0. It says in the first quarter, but that game started an hour and 40 minutes ago, so I got to think someone just forgot to update the time there. Minot High down 17-7 in the fourth to Fargo Davies.
Tauros hack it out of their own zone neutral. Norsemen dump it in, near side corner. Both teams will work up against the boards as it's eventually freed up and fed to Hawkins, but good chop there by Clark as Norsemen still working center ice. Roll one off the pad of Svedin. Tauros gather it though and turn it back up ice. It's a coin offensive zone. Will fire one wide left of the net. Rebound out to the far side boards as Wishart tried to sweep it into the neutral zone. Good move here by Sandu. Sandu skating in, will throw it off the pad. It's cleaned up and sent wide of the net. Is a good stop there by Svedin as the Tauros take this back up ice. It's Edwards that will fire one chipped high of the net. A little bit of a wild sequence there. Really good opportunity for the Norsemen. Tauros with one of their own back on the rush.
I have a feeling when we get a whistle, they're going to go back and look at that one. Norsemen players were trying to say it was in. I could not see the way it bounced around. May have been back post and out.
Nevertheless, Norsemen working back in the offensive zone. Quick shot on net by Kelming. Tipped out to the far side and eventually cleared into neutral. Norsemen will reset. Kelming across the blue line. Looks towards the direction of Farrell. As he'll throw it behind the Tauros net. Near side is Harris. Harris gets bodied by Nichols as he hits the ice. Wraparound try here from Cumming as puck goes wide. Tauros out of their own zone. Edwards will give it to Hagstrom. Hagstrom back out in the neutral zone. It's cut off far side by Geyer. Jurkic carries it across the blue line. Will throw it into the glove of Svedin for a whistle with 15:30 to go. As we get another look at that sequence. Sandu with a really nice move around James.
Hudson Blue also back out wearing a cage, so he, it would appear, opted not to receive the attention.
We will get another look.
They are going to look at it on the iPad. What's interesting is the replay system not tied to the clock. So if this is a good goal, they will have to go back. It's hard to tell from that angle if it was crossbar or back bar. Of course, the iPads have the angle from directly overhead, so they'll be able to tell for sure. And it was crossbar. So the question is, did the official look at it on his own, or was that a challenge? Because if it was a challenge, the Norsemen would be short-handed. But it looks like that was an official review.
So keep it right where it's at. 2-1 draw in the defensive zone for the Tauros to Svedin's left side. Norsemen control, but Small is in there for the Tauros on the quick takeaway. Tabulis along the near side boards as the Norsemen will send two, and it's Hardacre in there working for St. Cloud. It's carried into the neutral zone by Small. Small along the near side will skate into the corner. Puck tipped free and gathered by Hunt. Hunt out of his own zone. Near side to Lundy. Lundy across the blue line as a pass to the center of the ice gets poked free by Svedin to the far side. Puck rattling around behind the net of Svedin as both teams dig up against the boards. It's eventually freed up and controlled by Small, thrown neutral zone along the far side. Quick takeaway here by Gallivan. Tabulis working to free this one up as he eventually does. Spencer carries into the offensive zone, leaves it for Small. Small from his knees will feed one on the pad to eventually be covered and held by Leiden. And here we go once again.
And the main aggressor is Tate Hardiker in 07, which means he's required to wear a cage. Which doesn't leave a lot of room for Ian Spencer to fight back, unfortunately.
14:33 to go in the second period. Overall shots on net still in favor of the Norsemen, 20-14 in the period. It's also in favor of the Norsemen, 3-2. Johannesson from the far side corner will fire one into the chest of Leiden for another whistle. Yahala, Batten, and Johannesson out there for the Tauros. The defensive unit is Gibbs and Tauros offensive zone win. Gibbs will fire one towards the center of the net. That one's broken up near side to Gibbs. Gibbs will fire one wide of the net, far side corner. Batten chases after that one. Tauros with a quick takeaway. Yahala from behind the net of Leiden. Wraparound try, center ice feed. Batten was there for the Tauros. Nothing going there. Rebound out to the far side corner. Yahala out there as his pass gets taken away by Blue. Norsemen start back up ice. Is long cross ice pass by Geyer goes wide. Cleaned up though and controlled. Farrell from the far side corner feeds it to Cumming. Cumming will ring it around the Toro net. Blue near side to Harris. Harris will feed one through. That's tipped off the leg and wide of the net. Miller though controlling for St. Cloud, far side corner. Blue couldn't handle that one. Takeaway here by Batten. Tauros start back up ice into the neutral zone. Yahala will just throw this one in. Tauros go for a change. 13:27 to go out of their own zone. The Norsemen carry it neutral. It's Harris. Harris across the blue line near side. Shot goes off of Svedin to the near side. Tauros once again controlling the neutral zone. Perot to Funk. Funk across the blue line. Far side corner as he skates in. That one poked free and corralled by Miller as he'll chip it high up into the air in the neutral zone. Sandu will glove and drop this one in the offensive zone near side. Both teams work. Tauros with a quick takeaway. Marvin Cordes tries to find Funk. Funk can he get a hold of that bouncing puck? So Norsemen will reset behind their own net. Center ice collision there as puck is fed far side to Wishart. Wishart in the offensive zone. One timer here by Runso off the pad of Svedin. Rebound out to the front of the net. Norsemen control near side corners. They'll ring it around. They don't have numbers, although Lundy does hold up before breaking. Tauros though carry back out in the neutral zone. A coin across the blue line. Center ice feed to Funk. Ramirez was skating in there for the Tauros. He'll control behind the net of Leiden. Puck will bounce around for a brief moment in front of the Norseman net, but eventually controlled by Runso. Runso far ice passes. Collision here along the near side was Bronson Hunt. Tried to get a hold of that one. Tauros clear this one back as it'll go the distance for an icing. Icings are brought to you by Minot's Finest Collision Center. 11:56 to go here in the second period.
I think we have a bad chord. I tried 3 different times to start sentences there, and all 3, nothing came through the headset. So, but that last rush broken up by the linesman Archuleta. As we see Hudson Blue back on the ice on that near side.
Defensive zone draw for the Tauros comes to Svedin's right side. Puck will immediately go to the near side corner and is cleared down the ice. Nichols hustling there for the Tauros. Harris also skating hard as it'll get called for an icing. Good job there by Nichols to hustle down the ice, but Harris beats him there, so another defensive zone draw for the Tauros on the way.
And again, that pressure hopefully leads to a little bit more fatigue
Edwards in on the draw for the Tauros. It's sent to the near side corner and quickly up and out of play for another whistle.
Draw will be to the right of Lucas. Debate on where to put the draw. They'll take it out to neutral.
So Edwards will be in on the draw, and Calkins for the Norsemen. And Norsemen will feed this one into the offensive zone as Harris dumps this one in. Svedin out of his net. Near side to Mahler. Mahler was quickly pressured by Blue. Center ice pass up in the air gets dropped by Fleming as Nichols carries us along the near side. Nichols tries to feed towards Fleming. Nothing going there for the Tauros as the Norsemen poke it back out into the neutral zone. Nichols will feed it to Fleming. Fleming near side to Ramirez. Ramirez will skate in for the Tauros. Fleming.
Big something behind the play. I just heard the crash, and they're going to take a Norseman. It will be Uric on a slash. That was way behind the play.
So the second power play opportunity here for the Tauros tonight. Halfway through this second period of play. Offensive zone draw controlled by the Tauros. Spencer from the blue line will feed O'Hannison. O'Hannison far side. One-timer here by
What a save with the glove.
Off the glove, up and out of play for a whistle. Uhala stalking along the near side of
with the cheater portion of the glove. Leadon gets across.
Uhala already with 8 goals on the year for the Tauros. 15 total points. He added an assist tonight, good for 16. Draw comes out to Leadon's left side. Tauros dig off the draw and eventually gather it. James from the near side point. Him and Spencer will pass it between Batten. Goes to O'Hannison across the ice. O'Hannison couldn't control it. Nevertheless, though, Tauros still control from the blue line. James will feed it to Uhala. Uhala's shot, gets tipped up and out of play into the netting. 1:33 to go on the power play for the Tauros. Shots in favor of the Norsemen, still 22-18 overall.
Good puck movement early on the power play. And the Tauros winning battles in the corners when they've had to.
Same grouping out there for the Tauros. Batten will give this to Spencer. Spencer far side to O'Hannison. O'Hannison patient with the puck. Will find Batten. Batten cross ice to Uhala. Uhala on the one-timer opportunity. He'll fan on it, so puck controlled near side. Spencer will feed it to Batten. Batten back to Spencer. Puck will eventually roll on net and be covered.
Really nice goal play. Spencer out of the corner. And he took that shot while getting tripped. I think if it's a 5-on-5 play, Tauros are going to the power play, but already down a man. The whistle stays put away.
So it's Funk, Small, and Edwards out there for the Tauros. Edwards off the draw will give to Mahler. Mahler down the blue line to Fleming. Fleming will feed to Small. Small in the far side corner. He gets held up. Puck cleaned up by Funk. Funk will fire one off the shoulder of Leadon. Rebound behind the Norseman net and eventually cleared the distance. Tauros will go back deep in their own zone to get this one. 56 seconds remain on the extra man advantage. Fleming will start up ice, neutral zone. He'll give the Small near side to Edwards. Edwards back to Mahler. Mahler will feed into the corner. Edwards couldn't control that one. Miller up against the boards as the Tauros dig. Near side corner, puck still pinned up against the boards. Funk and Small in there for the Tauros. As Miller will eventually free it up. His clear gets kept into the offensive zone by Mahler. Mahler will skate in behind the net of Leadon. He'll give to Small. Small one-timer here by Fleming goes wide of the net. Rebound out to the near side. Farrell will backhand this one into the neutral zone. Tauros control. 15 seconds remain as Fleming skates deep into the defensive zone. Toros will start back up as Small tries to get something going. Two Norsemen defenders there. Good enough for a clear as the Toros come full strength, or excuse me, the Norsemen come full strength. Toros will reset out of their own zone, batting across the blue line near side to Yahala. Yahala back to Batten with a backhanded try as Ohannesson was crashing in. Another try there by Ohannesson, and Batten with another feed towards the net. Nothing going there for the Toros. They still control as Gibbs will fire one high of the net.
It was leading with the blocker who got that Batten attempt through traffic somehow.
As that'll bring us to the media timeout. Another look at that offensive mirage of opportunities for the Toros as they look to get back into this one. 8:44 remains, second period. Norsemen up 2-1. Shots on net now even 22-22. So the Toros making some headway in the second period. In favor, 11-6 shots on net.
Toros generating, as I said, a ton of chances. First period as well, but for whatever reason, they have not been able to cash in, whether it's strong play by Leiden or some of those chances like that backdoor feed from Batten not even resulting in a shot on goal, right? A beautiful blind backside feed to, I don't remember who the player was crashing down on the backside, probably Uhala if it was Batten. But no one able to get to the puck, and it slides harmlessly through the blue paint.
Carroll comes out to Leiden's right side. We're back underway. On the other side of the media timeout, puck is initially sent to the far side boards, and Dugat freed up behind the Norseman net. Yahala will skate in through some traffic near side to Gibbs. Gibbs from the point will send it near side corner to Batten. It's freed up. Yahala skating after this one. Norsemen, though, control into the neutral zone. They give to Crane. Crane will throw it off the boards as the puck will roll near side corner of the offensive zone. Freed up, controlled by Wishart. Wishart from behind the Toro net, being defended by Gibbs. Wishart will try to give to Crane. Crane couldn't get a hold of that one as the Toros will clear it down the ice. Gallivan back into the neutral zone near side. He'll leave for Sandhu. Sandhu off the boards to Gallivan. Gallivan center ice pass there.
Good stick by Marvin Cordes to break up that feed.
Broken up as the Norsemen continue to work in the offensive zone. Far side, Lundy will give back to the blue line to Gallivan. Gallivan will send one through traffic. Rebound out to the near side. Toros control a coin. Will chip it high up into there into the neutral zone. Gallivan trying to get to that one. He's taken down on the ice. Norseman, though, will eventually get it. Bronson Hunt skating in. Backhanded try goes off with spread, and as the Toros knock it back into the Norseman zone. That'll go the distance for an icing.
Flurry of chances each way. More blood on the ice. Right at the Pepsi logo. I didn't see whose that was, but nice. Couple Toro alum, Chad Muller, Noah Ruprecht, watching from their hotel room at the University of New Hampshire. They're, of course, playing for Long Island, where Brandon Funk, who just took the draw, will be headed as well for the Toros.
Norseman working in the offensive zone near side. It's Farrell. He'll ring it around the Toro net. Toros control far side corner as Clark. He'll leave it for Gibbs. Gibbs off the glass. Along the boards to Marvin Cordes as this is cleared back into the neutral zone. Toros pick it up across the blue line. A coin goes near side to Funk. Funk back to a coin. A coin skating, and he'll fire one off of Leiden. Rebound out in front of the net. Norsemen, though, take this one away as they'll skate back into the neutral zone and eventually into the Toros territory. Far side corner. Puck worked free from the boards as the Toros will skate after this one, and neutral zone. Runso after this one, though, as he'll control feed near side to Harris. Harris's pass gets taken away by Spencer. As the Tauros feed this back into the offensive zone, Small from the far side corner. He'll fire one. That
Post.
one off the post. Rebound out to the near side, controlled by Jurkic. As he'll skate across the blue line. Good stick there by the Tauros to break that play up. Hagstrom along the far side. He'll throw it neutral zone to Spencer. Delayed offsides here, so the Tauros have to peel back. 5:53 to go in the second period. Tauros still trail 2-1. No scoring here, though, in the second period of play. Far side corner is Lundy. He'll control for the Norsemen. He'll fire one wide left of the net. Harris, near side corner, will ring it around the Toro net. Far side is Harris. Harris to Jurkic. Jurkic skating through some traffic. Puck tip back to Lundy. Lundy will fire one. That one off the pads of Svedin. Rebound out to the near side. Toros pick it up. It's Tabulis looking for Spencer.
Good stick by Geyer, though.
At the blue line. Broken up by the Norsemen. Norsemen out of the neutral zone. Geyer across the blue line. He'll fire one. Broken up by Mahler as Mahler's slow to get up. Toros work it back into the neutral zone. Nichols across the blue line, far side. He skates in against some good defense there by Sarts. Is St. Cloud will take this one back over and work it into the neutral zone. Sandhu across the blue line. Far side play there around the Toros net. Fed into the center of the ice to Wishart. Wishart couldn't get anything going. Toros tip it back to the near side. Wishart in the corner. Gets held up along the boards. As Sarts tries to get a stick on this one. Aggressive defense here by Nichols as Toros work this one free as Fleming eventually clears it down for the Toros. Far side here as Crane starts back up ice. He'll give to Wishart in the neutral zone. Wishart will throw one wide of the net. Poke down to the near side corner by Svedin. Miller cleans this one up, fires one off the stick, up and out of play for a whistle with 4:10 remaining in the second period of play. Norsemen with just a 1 or 2 shot non-goal advantage here, 26-24. Final 5 minutes of this second period of play. Both defenses looking strong. We mentioned the early scoring wasn't something we saw last weekend in St. Cloud. We saw it in the first period, but this game has kind of reverted back to what it was last weekend. Bouncing puck in the center of the net. Poked wide by the Toros. Farrell pursues after that one, but Toros looking to clear this one out.
I feel like we've seen more good scoring chances than we saw last weekend, but just some fantastic goaltending.
Toros chase after this one in the offensive zone. Miller behind his own net is thrown near side neutral zone. Toros will poke it back in the offensive zone. Miller behind the net. He'll give to Farrell. Miller, the point leader for this St. Cloud team. Very productive defenseman so far this year. Hawkins will look towards Farrell. Farrell ran out of room as he skated towards the Toro net. So Toros from behind their own net, tipped free by Tanner Hunt behind the Toro net. Toros chase after this one, near side corner. Clark will feed it towards the blue line. Harris keeps it in as it'll roll on net covered and held by Svedin. 3:07 to go in the second period of play.
Jordan Gibbs not at all happy with Hunt for a late chop there. However, ends up skating away. I can't imagine we're going to see a Norseman drop the gloves. With just 11 forwards, you're not going to want to play with 10 for 15 minutes.
Rolling puck here will find its way into the neutral zone. Cleaned up by Fleming along the near side boards. He'll throw it into the offensive zone. Geyer will get a stick on that one. Just quick pass here to Tanner Hunt along the far side boards. Bronson Hunt gets held up, so the puck will roll its way the distance. Tauros pick it up in the near side corner. Tabula skating in the neutral zone across the blue line. He'll fire one off the stick of Leadon. Rebound out to the near side. Spencer in there for the Tauros. He'll skate free behind the net of the Norsemen, far side corner to Tabulis. Both teams working in the corner. Tauros eventually freed up Ramirez to the near side. This puck will squirt free in the neutral zone, eventually into the Tauros zone. So Tauros have to reset. Norsemen get some fresh legs on the ice. Marvin Cordes will dump this one in as it'll go the distance for an icing with 2:02 to go in the second period of play.
The defenseman Harris had lost his stick and was just bear hugging Tabulis along the end wall. You're getting Fleming out of the bench.
Jarrell will come out to Svedin's right side.
Perhaps some sportsmanship there. Fleming saying he has something in his eye. Tauros allowed to change one player because of that.
Tauros win the defensive zone draw. James will fire it off the top of the glass into the offensive zone. Norsemen quickly take this one away. Sandu works it along the boards. Svedin out of his net will throw this to the far side. Quick takeaway, though, by the Norsemen. It was Crane who got a hold of that one along the far side boards. Tauros work it back onto the neutral zone. Both teams will dig near side. Tauros turn up with it. James will feed it far side to Hagstrom. Hagstrom will dump this one in for the Tauros. 1:26 to go. Second period of play. Far side is Hudson Blue. He gets held up along the boards by Marvin Cordes. Tauros take this one away. Offensive zone. Marvin Cordes will fire it into the glove of Ledeen for a whistle and stoppage of play.
Nope. There we go. Tauros getting better opportunities this period. But Lundin making some unbelievable saves. Not one of the easier ones he's had to make. But at this point, I like the idea. Just throw everything towards the net.
Toro fans willing their way on this offensive zone draw. Defensive win, though, for the Norsemen is this is sent out in the neutral zone. Eventually finds its way in the Toro zone. Fleming will tip it to Spencer. Work near side to Johannesson. Takeaway here by Jurkic. Briefly, Tauros poke it back. Neutral zone is Fleming controls in his own zone. Final minute of play here in the second period for the Tauros. Fleming setting up out of his own zone. Works it along the boards as it's tipped high in the air off of the stick of Ian Spencer. Spencer already with a goal here tonight. The only one so far for the Tauros. Miller in the defensive zone will just allow this one to go into the glove of Leadon with 35 seconds remaining in the period.
Couple of high school football playoff finals. Both Minot schools fall. Davies 24-7 upends the Magicians in a revenge game from last year's Dakota Bowl, which the Minot High Magicians won. And the Horace Hawks of West Fargo 42-20 over Minot.
Offensive zone draw win for the Tauros. Fleming will fire one soaked up and held by Leadon for a whistle. Good play off the draw. Leadon was sprawled out to cover that one. Yahala out there with Spencer and Johannesson. They tie up off the draw. Tauros will win it. It's Johannesson along the near side. Will fire one towards the net. Goes off the pad. Rebound. Far side. Fleming out there for the Tauros. Bronson Hunt, though, will pick it up. Neutral zone. He'll skate into the Tauros zone. He skates down through some defense. Drag there. Goes wide. Another hack towards the net here by Geyer. Near side is Hardacre. That's thrown off of Svedin. Rebound far side corner.
Spencer out taking this shift with The Uhalo Hannison line, Billy Batten not on the bench. Not sure. Must have missed him going down the tunnel. Not sure the story on that.
So we're through 2 periods of play. No scoring in that second period. Norsemen still with that 1-goal lead. They lead the Tauros 2-1. Tauros, as you mentioned, Ken, with a lot of good offensive opportunities. They now lead shots on net 29-27, 19-11 in that period. Opportunities for the Tauros. Beck Leiden, though, continuing to play really well in net for this St. Cloud team.
Yeah, I mean, not much more you can say. Tauros had several fantastic chances.
So Lauren is down on the bench with Brandon Funk.
All right, Minnow Tauros fans, are here for the Farmers Union Insurance Intermission interview. I'm Lauren Hill, and this is Brandon Funk. This is our 3rd straight game against these guys. Is there any strategy that's different after seeing the same team so many times?
I think as a team we're just gluing a little bit together. I mean, a week of hard practice, and I think just really getting under their skin and finishing every check possible.
All right, and we are down a goal. What's it going to take to find one and tie this game up?
I think just attacking rebounds, hopping on pucks, getting everything to the net.
All right, thank you.
That was Brandon Funk. He had an assist in Saturday night's game. As that'll bring us to our Chuck-a-Puck.
And I agree with what Funk had to say there. Getting on rebounds, Tauros have not done a good job of that so far tonight. Not a lot of second chance opportunities. A lot more sustained zone time, I think, but in that period than the first. But we haven't seen a lot of extra whacks. And a big part of that is Leiden's been doing a very good job of controlling his rebounds. Hasn't given up any.
Talked about the good goaltending last week, and once again we're seeing it in this one. But as we said, Tauros outshoot the Norsemen 19-11 in that second period. Tauros had a extra man opportunity, that only penalty called. So Nikita Jurkic, Tauros unable to take advantage though, so score remains 2-1.
I'm trying to jump in here, Edward. Forebears over-unders. Goals 5. We don't have one of those yet. Toro goalie saves 29.5. I imagine that'll go over. Stopped 25 of 27. And have gone over the shots on goal.
So we'll send it out to commercial break. When we come back, the Forebears Casino and Live Generation Report here on the Minotauro Network.
I've been canning my whole life. It's one of my favorite pastimes. Today I finished the raspberry jam.
That's my favorite kind.
Well, here, take it with you.
Thanks, Grandma.
Now for my prize collection. Each jar shows the year it was canned. That way I won't forget when I put it in here.
Grandma, what's that?
Oh! Your grandfather and I worked so hard for this. It's our life savings.
In a jar?
Canning is really the best way to preserve anything.
It's true. The way we've always done it isn't always the best way. See how we're changing for the better at Aspire.
Grandma, you can bank from your phone now.
Oh, wow.
Aspire Credit Union. Aspire to more.
Circle Sanitation is a locally owned family business providing quality waste hauling services since 1980. We provide service to residential and commercial customers, as well as roll-off service for large projects and construction sites. We are dedicated to providing excellent service at competitive prices without deceptive contracts or hidden fees. For more on what Circle Sanitation can do for you, call us or visit circlesanitation.com.
At Northwest Tire, we're part of your community, and we want you to be part of our family. We're about more than tires. We're about superior customer service to keep your vehicles and equipment safely rolling down the road. If you'd like to join a company that truly cares for our customers and employees, come work with us and become part of our growing family. Apply at nwtire.com.
Northwest Tire keeps you rolling down the road.
The all-new Emergency Trauma Center, built with your reassurance in mind. The new healthcare campus and medical district, now open in Minot. Trinity Health, making more possible.
We often think of frontiers as pages in a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, one step at a time.
Tomorrow might be hard to see, but tomorrow is right in front of us. And we're always looking towards it. Investing another $4 billion in renewable energy and low-carbon solutions through 2025. And lowering emissions by modernizing our infrastructure, bridging to a sustainable energy future.
As far as what Plains Ag has to offer, great pay along with some of the best benefits that I've seen in the job market.
The company understands the importance of family and family values. You need to have that time with your children. Plains Ag is 100% family oriented.
I love working here, very helpful.
There's no problem it feels like we can't solve when we're working together.
Go to plainsag.com, fill out the application, and we'll be in touch with you shortly.
The Lamplighter is Minot's premier liquor store. Whether you're looking for wine, cold beer, or a fine bourbon, stop in and browse our selection, or make a quick stop at our convenient drive-thru. The Lamplighter Lounge and Liquor Store.
No, 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 no. Oh! Wait! We have an emergency fund!
Since 1977, Northwest Tire's been your partner on the road for over 40 years. People have put their trust in our quality brand tires and expert service on the roads and in the fields for work, play, and travel. Northwest Tire, keeping you rolling down the road.
Our history sets us on our path. From the moment we're born, we begin our walk through life. We learn so we can discover. We find our passion and develop our skills. We build relationships. We start thinking about what we're going to leave behind to those we love. Let our legacy help shape yours. First International Bank and Trust. No matter your place in life, we can help you live first.
Nothing has embodied the American spirit like the family farmer. Year after year, they continue to work the land and plant their crops. Through droughts, floods, and uncertain markets, they keep that spirit alive with another crop harvested for the next generation. And for that, we tip our hats to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
The Four Bears Casino Sportsbook has a new look. Enjoy Vegas-style betting in comfort. Play and qualify to win trips to Vikings or Raiders NFL games. Order a drink at the dedicated bar. Then kick back in a lounger and watch the full wall display. Feel the action all the way to the final moment and claim your winnings. Book it for private draft parties or game day too. Visit the remodeled Sportsbook at Four Bears Casino and Lodge, 4 miles west of Newtown.
And welcome back inside the Mesa Arena. Second intermission here. Intermission, the Four Bears Casino and Lodge intermission report. Norsemen with a 2-1 lead over the Tauros. No scoring in that second period. It was Ian Spencer getting an early goal for the Tauros in the first period for his 5th on the year. Norsemen respond, though, quickly. Sammy Crane with his 7th of the year. Helpers from Tyler Geyer and Tyler Wishart. Hudson Blue with the go-ahead goal nearly a minute later. So that is where we are at. No scoring in that second period. Only thing on the score sheet was a Norseman penalty. Tauros unsuccessful on the power play, though. So the Tauros 0 for 2 on the night for the extra man advantage. St. Cloud 0 for 1. So far, Tauros outshoot the Norsemen 19-11 in that second period. Overall, Tauros also with the advantage 29-27 in that department. So we'll get to some updates on our out-of-town scoreboard. It's a final between Danbury and New Hampshire. New Hampshire with a 9-2 win over the Hat Tricks, Rochester and Maryland. That one just going final. Maryland with a 3-2 win over the Junior Americans. Maine with a dominant 6-2 victory over Elmira. Good for Maine's 12th win on the year. Northeast and Johnstown also a final. Northeast with a 4-1 win over the Tomahawks. Philadelphia and New Jersey, tight game there. New Jersey, though, with a 4-3 win over Philadelphia. Shreveport and Oklahoma tight with 7 minutes remaining in the final period of play. Oklahoma with a 5-4 lead over the Mudbugs. Bismarck still leads the Mallards 4-0. That one just going final as we speak. So Bismarck gets their 14th win on the season. Their record moves to 14-1-0-1 as the Mallards fall to 6-10. 0-1. Tauros will see that Mallards team in about 2 weeks' time. Wendigo lead the Jets 3-1 with 7:25 to go in the third period at the Janesville Ice Arena. North Iowa up big on Watertown 6-2. 2 minutes and some change remain in the third period in Mason City. Odessa and Amarillo knotted at 2. Third period just getting underway. Aberdeen up 2-1 over the Bruins halfway through the third period at the Odie. New Mexico and El Paso tied up 3 apiece with 12:35 remaining in the second period. Corpus Christi with a 2-1 lead over the Grit. 5 minutes remain in the second period. That one still to come. 3 games up in Alaska this weekend. The Wilderness travel up there to Anchorage to take on the Wolverines. That one in warm-ups. Chippewa and Kenai also in warm-ups. That one's still to come. Springfield travels to Fairbanks as that one also is just getting warm-ups underway. We'll get a quick check on our NHL scoreboard as well. Just 4 games today. Maple Leafs with a 3-1 victory over the Red Wings. Penguins defeat the Capitals 4-2. Golden Knights and Kraken just getting underway halfway through the first period in that one. Still scoreless. Wild up early on the Anaheim Ducks 1-0. So that is your out-of-town scoreboard as we bring it back here to the Magic City. Tauros trail 2-1. Trailing entering the third period, Tauros are 1-3-1-0 as they look to improve that one. The weekend set against the Norsemen is they'll then have another weekend right here at home on the Pepsi rink against the Aberdeen Wings as they see Aberdeen for the first time this year. As then the Tauros the weekend before Thanksgiving will travel down to Forest Lake to take on the Mallards. So Tauros looking to make some headway in the Central Division with 4 straight games at home, but that'll do it for now. Here in the second period of Four Bears Casino Lodge intermission. When we come back, third period action here on the Pepsi rink on the Minotauro Network.
In life, there's good, better, and the best. The same theme applies for our car and light truck tires at Northwest Tire. We offer you good tires, better tires, and the best tires. Which choice is right for you? That depends on your tire performance needs and your budget. The choice is yours. Come in and talk to one of our tire experts, and we'll help you decide which tire is best for you.
At Northwest Tire, we have tires for everyone. Needs tires that are reliable and safe to get her family where they need to be. Needs a tire that's heavy duty for all of his off-roading adventures. Needs tires that can get him from point A to point B. No matter what you drive or your budget.
Northwest Tire keeps you rolling down the road.
Life is for living. And at First International Bank and Trust, we're all about living, helping your dreams come true. Because we're not just in the banking business. We're in the first home business, the community sponsorship business, the how do I make this happen business, making your banking life easy so you can focus on what matters most. First International Bank and Trust. Live first.
A state-of-the-art hospital and medical office building built with you in mind. The new healthcare campus and medical district, now open in Minot. Trinity Health, making more possible.
I think we have some pickles downstairs. Honey, got some good news and some bad news.
The trick to throwing well is knowing where you want the ball to go. Like how the local bankers at First Western Bank and Trust take the time to learn about you and recommend the banking services like online banking or personal loans that keep your goals on target.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
All right, Minotauros fans, we are doing the Trusted Tire and Auto Chuck-a-Puck for $10,000.
Back in here with our Chuck-a-Puck shot, a $10,000 shot.
First one of the year.
And I'm here with
Marshall Guy.
Are you ready to shoot for 10K?
Oh yeah.
All right, the only rule here, you have to stay behind this red line. It's a little hard to see it here, so I advise that you back up. If you pass the line, I do have to stop you. So don't pass the line, or no 10K. Okay, so no 10K for Marshall, but that's okay. Because you are now shooting for $616. Aim for the arrows. Oh. And your last shot is half that for $308. Oh!
You good, Tank? Okay, good.
That's okay because you got to participate. Yay! Woo!
He still gets.
And everyone got to see Tank fall. Woo!
He also still gets an oil change from our friends at Trusted Tire and Auto. But no money to go home with for Marshall Guy. 20 minutes left. Edward, you saw this team come back.
Yeah.
Last Saturday night. What did you see there that the Toros could maybe go to school on?
I think the Toros did a nice job last Saturday coming out of the break and picking up the pace. I think the one advantage that this Toro team has almost pretty much over anyone they play is speed. So if you come out fast in this third period, get a couple of good opportunities, get some traffic in front of the net, I think the Toros put themselves in a really good position. But, this Toro team is... Toros have came back in a couple games. I think that series down in Austin, too, the Toros in the second game battled coming out of the second intermission as well. So I wouldn't put it past them. Toros did a nice job in that second period, generating some more opportunities. I talked about it and touched on it at the intermission. 19-11 shots on net in favor of the Toros in that second period, really turning the tide compared to the first after the Norsemen had 16 on net in just that first period of play. So
hopefully the Toros can get moving. We saw a lot of offensive chances, but not able to punch through. We've also talked about fatigue being a factor for the Norsemen. No healthy scratches, already down a forward. Their captain, Hudson Blue, had to put on a cage after losing some teeth.
Norsemen control the neutral zone draw. Puck is down. Third period action underway on the Pepsi rink. Puck quickly sent into the Toros territory. Small will control, send it near side off the stick of Spencer as that puck will rattle into the neutral zone. Norsemen chip it back into the offensive zone. Perot behind his own net. Takeaway here by the Norsemen quickly by Wishart. Sent near side. Toros trying to carry it out in the neutral zone. Good job here by St. Cloud to keep it in. Runso goes to Wishart. Wishart off the pad of Svedin. Puck squirts to the near side. Miller continuing to keep this in the offensive zone for the Norsemen. Blue near side will fire one. Spencer trying to get in the way of that one. Is puck was sent center ice. Toros take it away as Tabulis will skate this in the neutral zone as St. Cloud dives to the bench before getting called.
That has to be too many men, and now they do call it. Official's arm did not go up, but they had a defenseman jump off the bench into the play and then realize no one came off, and he quickly scurried to the bench. I almost think in those situations, you're better off just acting like you belong out there, and maybe the ref will buy it. But either way, Toros go to the power play. Billy Batten on the ice. That's a good sign. He missed the last shift of period number 2.
So the Toros with another extra man opportunity to begin a third period. We saw it last weekend. We're seeing it again, albeit not out of the break. Nevertheless, though, early in the third period, opportunity here for the Toros. They control the offensive zone. Draw Spencer. Send it down the blue line to James. James at the far side point will pass it back and forth with Yahala, and then Spencer along the far side board. Spencer will eventually corral it. Batten in front of the net. He gets the puck poked out of his control. James to Batten. Batten goes wide of the net.
Crossbar, actually.
Out to the near side. It's sent up. Blue line is Spencer down the ice. His pass gets tipped into the neutral zone by Blue. So the Toros will retrieve this out of their own zone with 1:25 to go on the power play. 18-27 in regulation. Yahala near side will dump this one in behind the Norseman net. It'll end up along the far side boards and be cleared the distance by the Norsemen.
Second crossbar, plus John Small had a post.
Toros carrying this back up ice. It's O'Hannison along the far side. Puck will rattle to the near side corner. Spencer works it free. He'll pass it behind the net to Yahala. Yahala up to the blue line to James. James across to Spencer. Spencer right back to James. Yahala from the blue line. One-timer here by O'Hannison is off the chest. Eventually free from Leadon as the Norsemen clear it. Opportunity off the rebound. Good job by St. Cloud to clear it out of the danger zone. Toros back in the offensive zone. Batten in the near side corner. He's being worked at by Gallivan, and Eventually sends it free to Mahler at the blue line. Mahler to Yahala. Yahala near side to Ohannes, Ohannes tries to feed it back up top to Mahler. Will squirt free into the neutral zone. Tauros reset. 10 seconds remain on the First Western Bacon Trust power plays. Yahala will just hold this in the neutral zone as the Norsemen come full strength. Calkins out of the box. Tauros dump it into the offensive zone. Near side corner, it's a coin. Big collision there as Mahler hits the ice. Funk, is in there for the Tauros. Behind the net of Leiden, Funk then hits the ice as Calkins is in there for the Norsemen. Near side, worked alongside the boards to Fleming. Fleming will fire one. That one goes off a body, tipped wide, to the far side. Gallivan, far side corner. Mahler trying to poke at that one, but the Norsemen will clear this one into neutral and eventually into the Tauros zone.
Tauros reloading quickly in neutral and getting on the attack. I think, again, pushing the pace, trying to keep fatigue an issue. Oh my. Clark absolutely crushed Crane, had him on the tracks. Sorry.
Norseman out of the neutral zone. It's Wishart centering a pass in there for St. Cloud. Far side is Tanner Hunt along the boards. He's being worked at by Batten. Tauros briefly have it as Gibbs tries to control this one. Sandu working in there for the Tauros. Svedin with a nice poke there to send that one to the far side boards. Quick takeaway here by St. Cloud. It's Sandu firing one on net. Tauros throw this off the boards and eventually out into the neutral zone. O'Hannison across the blue line into the offensive zone. Tanner Hunt with a good stick there to break that play up as they skate into the offensive zone. Bronson Hunt will fire one wide right, of the net. Rebound to the near side. Yohala in there for the Tauros as he'll ring it down to the near side to Spencer into the neutral zone. Spencer goes to O'Hannison. O'Hannison will skate in and fire one into the chest of Leiden as that will be covered and held for a whistle with 15:04 to go in the third period of play. 32 shots on net here for the Tauros, 30 for the Norsemen. So a lot more offense in this Friday night affair compared to last weekend for both teams.
Not sure what Tate Hardiker's problem was with Jack O'Hannison there after the whistle, but it was a shot from distance. No late hacks or anything taken. Nonetheless.
Tauros on the offensive zone draw. It was Edwards on the face-off for the Tauros. Norsemen win it and control out of their own zone. Tip free into the offensive zone, carried by Farrell. Far side, it's tossed behind the Toro net, coming in there for the Norsemen. Gallivan near side will hack at one. Tauros, though, in the way of this one is it's work free into the neutral zone, pursued after by the Norsemen in their own defensive zone. Up ice is James as he corrals one. Cumming was in on the pressure. Near side is Hagstrom, neutral zone. Hagstrom will just fire one wide of the net from the neutral zone as the Tauros get some fresh legs on the ice. Small from the far side. He'll work it near to Fleming. Fleming to Mahler along the far side boards. Mahler's pass to Small just goes a little wide. Small, though, eventually gets the stick on it as he hacks it into the offensive zone. Tauros control defensive territory now as this is sent the distance for an icing. Icing's brought to you by Monarch's Finest Collision Center. 13:59 to go in regulation. Tauros still down 2-1.
Poking through some of the Division I box scores. Looking to see if any Toro alum have points. Kyler Clevin, a couple penalty minutes for Niagara. Nick Armstrong Kincaid, an assist for Bentley tonight.
Tauros out of their own zone. Mahler off the near side boards as Runso will fire one on net from neutral. Svedin with the save and dump to the near side. Norsemen once again working in the Toro zone. Shot rolls on net once again, just tossed to the near side by Svedin. A coin behind the Norseman net. Toros working offensive zone. Quick hack towards the net by Spencer. Toros from the far side point. Gibbs fires one in. Spencer in there for the Toros as Minot looks to mount the pressure. Clark will fire one wide of the net. Rebound out to the far side. Yahala will work it to the far side corner. A coin held up against the boards. Spencer, though, will carry one free. Quick takeaway, though, by Santu as he'll just dump this one in for the Norsemen. 12:53 to go. Toros throw it in the neutral zone. Harris retrieves it out of his zone, defensive zone for the Norsemen. Work free far side is Hunt. Bronson Hunt goes to Tanner Hunt, taken away though by Yahala as he got a stick in on that one. Toros carried into the neutral zone. Across the blue line is Yahala. Yahala pinned up against the boards by Tanner Hunt, so the Norsemen get a stick on it and clear it back out of the neutral zone. Perot works it up ice to a coin. Lundy with a takeaway though off his own blue line is St. Cloud will once again clear this enough as it goes the distance for an icing.
Few Toro alum on score sheets. We've got Danny Russell, his 5th of the year. It came short-handed as Michigan State beat Ohio State 4-2. Wisconsin falls to Minnesota, but Kyle Kukkonen picks up his first goal for the Badgers. And Dante Lawson from Jackson Panzer, 2 Toro alum, combined for Bemidji State's second goal of the night as they win 4-3 over Augustana.
Toros skating after one in their own defensive zone. It's Perot working it near side. Ramirez tried to control that one in neutral, but goes off his stick into the offensive zone. It's picked up near side by Blue. Blue across the blue line into the offensive zone. Good pressure there by Edwards. Forces Blue just to send this behind the Toro net. It'll end up in the near side corner. Both teams battling up against the boards. 2-on-2 battle here. Both teams working to pin this one off the boards in the Toros defensive zone. Puck's eventually freed up. It's Edwards heaving it high up into the air. Gallivan near side point. He just avoids a hit here as Nichols crashes into the boards. Toros work it back into the neutral zone, so they'll control near side. Perot will dump it in for the Toros. Toros get a change off as the Norsemen control out of their own zone neutral. It's Clockins. Clockins across the blue line will fire one off of Perot as the Toros poke this free to the far side and eventually out in the neutral zone. O'Hannison hits the ice. Delayed call coming. Whistle blows. Toros going to the power play as Batten then will hit the ice as well. So
are they taking Batten for that as well? They are not. Interference, the call.
So the Toros once again going to the First Western Bank and Trust power play. Hardiker sent to the box for St. Cloud. 10:45 remain in the third period. So get another look at that penalty along the far side.
They didn't get the right guy. Or did they? They did. I thought they took 10 to the box. They took 23.
Draw comes out to Leedon's right side. Yahala's in on the draw for the Toros. It's coming for the Norsemen. Yahala gets sent down to the ice off the face-off. Miller controls and quickly clears this down the ice for St. Cloud. Shots in favor of the Norsemen, 33-32. Good for a combined 65 shots on net. O'Hannison in neutral zone along the far side boards. He tosses one into the offensive zone. Puck will end up near side corner. Toros working up against the boards. Yahala and Blue battling. Puck eventually freed up and rung to the far side as it's hacked free and cleared the distance before coming. Toros will retreat and retrieve behind their own net. It's James starting up ice. He gives it to Ohannesson. Ohannesson trying to feed it towards Spencer. Good stick there by Farrell to break that one up. 1:12 remain on the power play for the Toros. Just under 10 minutes remain in the third period. Yahala carries it near side neutral zone. He'll throw it off the boards as the puck will end up behind the net of Leiden, as Spencer will have it in the far side corner, but it will be whistled dead for a hand pass. Real quick, we'll take a look at the other games around the division tonight. Of course, we've been giving you updates. Aberdeen at home against the Bruins, the Mallards and Bobcats, and North Iowa, who were up big last time we checked in over the Shamrocks. As we bring it back here, neutral zone face-off controlled by the Norsemen. Good takeaway here by the Toros. It's Small skating hard near side in the offensive zone. He'll skate in through some traffic as Funk will fire one off of Leiden near side. A rebound is controlled by Small. Small will skate in. Takeaway here, though, by St. Cloud, as they'll once again clear it. 35 seconds remain on the power play for the Toros. Small out of his own zone. He'll give it to Mahler near side. Mahler will throw it into the offensive zone. Puck will ring around the St. Cloud net far side as Mahler passes it down the blue line to Fleming. Fleming will skate in and feed it to Funk. Funk back up top to Small. Small will give it to Mahler. Mahler back to Edwards. Edwards back to Mahler. Mahler to Small. Small will fire one. That one goes high, so the Norsemen come full strength. Toros still working offensive zone. Small will send one into the center of the ice. Toros couldn't get a stick on it. Turned back up ice though by Sandhu. Sandhu stops along the far side as he'll feed it center ice to Runzer. Runzer will fire one wide left of the net. Rebound controlled by Small deep in the Toros zone and eventually fed near side to Fleming. This one will go the distance for an icing with 8:14 to go. Shots on net even at 33 apiece. There are your point leaders here for the Toros. Yohala with now 16 following the assist tonight. Ohannesson with 14 along with Spencer, and then Small and Batten.
The last college update I have for you, Alaska and Union finish in a 3-3 draw. Carter Corpy an assist for Union, and it was Nick Grabko in net for Alaska, getting the tie.
As a quick takeaway here by Ohannesson. Ohannesson all alone in the offensive zone. Ohannesson backhanded, try it's in. Tie game, Jack Ohannesson.
And that, Edward, is why you watch the shootout in practice on Thursday. Ohannesson saving the breakaway moves for the game. He was the only Toro not to score in the Thursday shootout. But when it counts, he buries the backhand.
And a great takeaway in the neutral zone leads to the goal. It's good for Ohannesson's third on the year. As we are back underway, tie game here, 2-2. 8 minutes remain. Here's the goal call.
Goal scored by number 7, Jack Ohannesson. Time of the goal, 11 minutes, 54 seconds.
Worked back into the neutral zone by the Norsemen. They'll clear it as the Toros have some life here. Crowd back into it. Quick shot towards the net by Gallivan, gets broken up. Back around the Toro net. Wishart gets a stick on a quick try here by Blue as the puck rattled around in front of the net. It ends up in the near side corner. Toros take over neutral zone. It's Batten. Batten will just clear this one through, so the Toros will get a change. Out of their own defensive zone are the Norsemen. Farrell carries it across the blue line. He'll lose handle of the puck as the Toros take it away. It's Spencer up ice now into the neutral zone. Center ice pass to Small. Small couldn't get it. His stick on that one, so the puck's poked to the near side boards. Toros try to work it free. Farrell, though, will gain possession across the blue line as he looks far side to Clockins. Tauros take it away. It's Taboulis with a good stick there in his own defensive zone as the Tauros will reset in the neutral zone. Tanner Hunt with a takeaway here for St. Cloud. Far side pass. Miller takes a chop at this one, is eventually squirted free into the neutral zone as St. Cloud will reset. 6:17 to go, third period action inside Mesa Arena. Bronson Hunt far side. He'll throw in, that goes up and out of play for a whistle, and we'll hit the media timeout, and both teams will push and shove. Spencer in there for the Tauros. It's Tanner Hunt for the Norsemen. Nevertheless, though, media timeout. Tie game 2-2.
A huge goal from O'Hannison on that breakaway. Like you said, it was a good takeaway, and then the feet ahead for O'Hanny. And I don't know about you, Edward, but that was the first thing that came to my mind was watching the shootout competition yesterday and how frustrated O'Hannison was. Unable to solve Lucas. But he came in with speed and made the move to the backhand. Leading bit, and O'Hanny had the whole top half of the net and did not miss on that backhand flip.
So, draw comes in the Norseman offensive zone to Svedin's right side. The grouping out there for the Tauros is Small, Taboulis, Mahler, Spencer, and Fleming. It's John Small in on the draw. Quickly sent to the near side is Spencer gathering this one, throwing it off the boards, high up into the air into the neutral zone. As Taboulis pressures near side, takeaway here is Small will skate in across the blue line, but met by a stick from Sammy Crane. Spencer gets his stick hacked out of his hand as
it broke in half. He had to let it go.
The Norsemen work in their offensive zone. Wishart with a cross-ice pass far side to Miller. Miller skating down the blue line to the near side. He'll throw in, that goes
blocker
off the blocker to the near side. Tauros start back up ice. It's Fleming in the neutral zone, far side into the offensive zone. O'Hannison now near side is the Tauros hit the back of the net.
It's Fleming, his
That's
first.
Fleming. Landon Fleming with his first in a Toro uniform. Give the Tauros a 3-2 lead as that was worked far side down the goal line. Assist on that one, O'Hannison, as he finds Fleming in front of the net. Tauros lead. So the Tauros with two unanswered goals, as here's the goal call from Josh Carlock.
It's equipment. Goal scored by number 77, Landon Fleming. Assisting on the goal, number 7, Jack O'Hannison, and number 18, John Small. Time of the goal, 14 minutes, 38 seconds.
Feeling a lot like last Saturday, Edward.
Yeah, and the Tauros, much like last Saturday, like I mentioned, 2 unanswered goals here in the third period as time winds down. The trick here in this one is just to hold on, as the Tauros have 4:40 to do so. Gallivan in the near side corner, offensive zone for the Norsemen. Puck rung around the back of the Toro net. Clockin's far side as this gets whistled dead with 4:28. Tauros.
The puck had gone inside the jersey of the Norseman player.
Tauros with a 35-33 shot and net advantage. Plenty of opportunities both ways. Tauros, though, taking advantage, and Jack O'Hannison not only got the equalizer, but then with some really good vision on the assist to Landon Fleming for the go-ahead goal. Small far side corner, he gives it to Fleming. Fleming camping in the defensive zone along the near side. He'll dump this one in as Gallivan will chop it back into the neutral zone. Bronson Hunt now near side offensive zone. He'll give it to Tanner Hunt behind the Toro net as it's picked up by Lundy. Lundy will skate and fire one wide, right of the net. Rebound off the glass behind the Toro net. Wraparound try here by Tanner Hunt. Action in front of the Toro net, eventually poked free and worked to the far side boards. Tanner Hunt gathers, though. Runs so along the far side, will fire one, that one off the blocker as Fleming hits the deck. Toros clear this one, 3:35 to go. Both teams with some fresh legs out on the ice. You wonder at this juncture in the game if fatigue is a factor for the Norsemen, as the Toros have really picked up the pressure. Hagstrom in the offensive zone, near side point from the blue line. He'll bring it around the St. Cloud net as this is picked up in front of the Norseman net. Fired in now by James. Rebound near side corner. Ramirez
never saw it.
As Gibbs will work in from behind the St. Cloud net. Puck thrown into the neutral zone. It's Blue as he tried to work it down the far side boards. James with the takeaway.
The ref is down and he is hurt. Sorry to cut you off there.
No, you're good.
He was on his stomach face down. Ref has rejoined play, but he does not look well.
Delayed offsides there, so the Toros had to peel back as Geyer carries this into the neutral zone. Sandhu picks it up. He'll quickly give it to Geyer as it's thrown near side to Wishart. Wishart fires one in behind the Toro net. It's Sandhu and Crane working near side corner. Gibbs with a good takeaway as he'll dump this one and clear it the distance. Not quite enough for an icing. 2:07 to go. Offensive zone takeaway by Batten. Batten tries to go center ice. Yahala was sitting in front of the Norseman net. Nevertheless, though, St. Cloud carries this neutral zone. Wishart runs into a good stick here by Yahala. Yahala will skate into the offensive zone. Tabulis will chase after this one against the boards. As time is beginning to tick down here, you will start to watch the net here as Leadon stays in, and now he'll break to the net. So empty net for St. Cloud. Near side offensive zone, puck pinned up along the boards for St. Cloud. 1:25 to go. Norseman in the offensive zone, near side Miller. Both teams still working as the Toros free this one up. Tabulis skating hard. Brunso will try to hack it down the boards. Spencer, though, with a quick takeaway, fires one wide left of the net. As a scrum now ensues behind the empty net of the Norsemen. Both teams in on the action. Toros digging as this puck's freed up in front of the net. Miller, though, saves it as it's carried back into the neutral zone, given to Lundy. Lundy across the blue line, near side. Offensive zone. Final minute of play here. Spencer near side will make a move and fire one into the empty net. As that one's the icing on the cake. Ian Spencer, his second of the night. Toros lead 4-2.
I'm feeling pretty comfortable about my player to watch, Edward.
Credit where credit's due, Ken. You said it pre-game, in a big game coming home. You like a guy like Ian Spencer, and he is once again reminded us that Ken Oda knows Toros hockey perhaps better than anybody. 50 seconds remain. Toros up 4-2. Toros looking for their 9th win on the year. Neutral zone draw won by the Norsemen as the Toros quickly take it away far side.
Assisting on the goal, number 43, Leon Hagstrom.
They're going to try and get Leadon to the bench again.
Tauros in their own zone. It's Gibbs chopping it along the far side of Coyna, sitting into the offensive zone, leading the force to stay in his own net. 20 seconds remain. As the Tauros do a nice job taking this one away neutral, so leading can't leave his net. Final 10 seconds of play. Hagstrom will just dump this one into the offensive zone. A coin pursues after one in the far side corner. As the horn sounds, Tauros win. It's the final on the Pepsi Rink. Tauros with a third period comeback win for their 9th win on the year. As they take the Friday night contest down the Pepsi Rink.
Sorry, I'm laughing. Tank brought out the safety cone to mark the dangerous spot he fell during the second intermission.
So Lauren will be down on the ice as we get our 3 stars of the night. So we'll send it to Josh Carlock here for the 3 stars.
Toro fans, it's time to meet your Liberty Tax 3 stars of the game. The Liberty Tax 3rd star of the game with 33 plus saves, number 60, Lucas Sweden. The Liberty Tax 2nd star of the game with 2 goals, number 23, Ian Spencer. And your Liberty Tax 1st star of the game, number 7, Jack O'Hannison.
So we'll send it down to the bench for Lauren Hill with Landon Fleming.
All right, Minotauros fans, I am here with number 77, Landon Fleming, and number 7, Mr. Jack O'Hannison. All right, Landon, you scored your 1st goal tonight in a Minotauros jersey. You scored that comeback goal, not only that. Walk us through that play and how you felt in that moment.
Just saw a lot of open eyes. Then I saw Hanny, and we got good chem. We've been playing together for a while, so I liked our chances on that rush.
And do you have anything to say about maybe the atmosphere in Mesa tonight?
This is unreal. I've never seen anything like it. So, yeah, you guys are unbelievable, so this is awesome.
All right, and Jack O'Hannison, you are a leader on this team. What does this win mean to you and the team tonight?
It means a lot. Just shows a lot of resilience, and shows no matter what the score is, going to the 3rd, we can make a change.
All right, Minotauros fans, let's give it up one more time for Landon Fleming and Jack O'Hannison.
This group confident, and I think that's something that's carried over from last season, especially for the veteran Tauros. A very confident group that, they a confident group that was able to come back in a lot of games last year, and for the guys who came back, that swagger has stayed.
Yeah, and I think a big thing, last year was the fact that the Toros were able to adjust within a weekend, even taking a loss on Friday, coming back on Saturday night. But, the Toros are also able to make those adjustments in game, and I think they've done a nice job. We saw a really good effort last Saturday coming back in that third period. Took an overtime loss, but the Toros able to finish this one and hold on for a regulation win, which I think is a big one, especially being the first of 4 games that they'll play on the Pepsi rink here for their longest homestand of the weekend, or of the year, with back-to-back series inside the Mesa Arena.
Yeah, and it sets you up like we said on the Farmers Union pregame show, Edward. Excuse me, you take 3 of 4 last weekend, but you only gain 1 point.
Yeah.
A clean win tonight and a win tomorrow night, or at least a point tomorrow night, and you've taken points in 4 straight against these guys, and then you do pick up at least 2. So a good performance for the Toros, an important third period. And if you're St. Cloud, I don't know how you feel about these last 2 games. Yeah, you got the win last Saturday at home, but that's twice you've come into the third period leading against this Toro group, and you walk away with only 1 point to show for all of it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really nice effort for them, really through two really good periods of play by them. I've talked about the goaltending quite a bit, but they were able to erase some early momentum that the Toros found off an Ian Spencer goal like 5 minutes into the first period. So, if you were St. Cloud, you were feeling pretty good, erasing a good start for the Toros, which hasn't always been there, especially inside this building so far this year. But then you just couldn't figure it out down the stretch as the Toros really started to apply the pressure, and maybe fatigue. I don't know. As far as St. Cloud goes, I mean, you have to give credit to the guys out there because they were working down.
Oh, they certainly
quite
battled.
A bit. Yeah.
And the empty netter makes the game look not as close as it was. This was a St. Cloud lead until halfway through the third period, and a tie game until just over 5 minutes left. So, they certainly battled. I don't want to take anything away from them, but. And you mentioned fatigue, I'm sure an issue. They're playing shorthanded, only 11 forwards. So I'm sure that's a part of it as well. But really, from a St. Cloud perspective, to drop 2 games that you were leading in the third period and only have the 1 loser point from Saturday, that has to be a bit demoralizing. And it's probably got them coming out pretty hungry tomorrow to start the game.
Yeah, and a good start here for the Norsemen. I want to say they only had 2 regulation losses, I should say, last weekend. Toros were one of them. Then the Toros got the win on Friday night, and then of course another win here. So the Toros have, I think to a certain degree, kind of been a thorn in the side for St. Cloud, and I think part of it's the fact that these 2 teams have played so much early in the season, but nevertheless, I think if you're the Toros, given the fatigue that the St. Cloud team might be feeling, an early go tomorrow night will really get things rocking inside this building.
Yeah, and we talked about it. It was a good crowd, but a lighter crowd tonight than you would expect on a typical Friday because of those 2 high school semifinal games. That won't be the case tomorrow night. Tickets for tomorrow night's game already outpacing tonight's contest. So it'll be a packed house here at the Mesa, looking to see the Toros extend this point streak to... Well, that's bad work by me. I started the sentence without knowing the actual number. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 games with a point. And then you go back, the loss on October 24th, but the sweep of North Iowa before that, the win against St. Cloud the Saturday before that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. 7 of the last 8 Toros have at least a point, and are 6-1-1 over those last 8. So any fear the Toros fans may have had over the tough start at the showcase should be erased. Toros are playing really good hockey right now.
Yeah, and a little confidence too, given the teams that the Toros have played in the strength of schedule. So all things good for the Tauros here, but that'll do it for us here inside Mesa Arena. We'll be back tomorrow night, 7:35 puck drop. Tune in early for the Farmers Union Insurance pregame show. But for Edward Neiman and Ken Oda saying so long till tomorrow, thank you for tuning in.